Hey everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast. And as an homage to our very first show, it is the Pickle Party. So I'm wearing my Pickle Party beanie, which I'm going to replace now with the Popcast hat, but it's way too warm in here for this.
I was going to be like, man.
Yeah, it's not something I can.
What's up?
Not something I can wear for long term. But listen, it is Thursday, and this is the Pickle Party Popcast Live Unleashed. My name is Brian. That is Shane. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I hope you have had a wonderful week. I am deep entrenched into this next video we're doing for our Prime channel, which we'll talk about more in the member section because I do need a venting opportunity. So.
Oh, dude, this one is another bit. So every video for us is, hard because it takes a lot of research and a lot of editing and a lot of graphics and stuff like that, and a lot of writing and a lot of voicing. There's a lot to it, but the real big ones are the ones that are like an hour long plus. If you think a 15-minute video was a big event for us, and then we go and do an hour long video, it's hard.
But it's hard. It's definitely different.
But it's worth it.
It's worth it. And so I had this moment. I was telling Brian last night. I'll share it with you guys. I don't know how many of you are doing your dream job. But I have to remind myself when things get difficult, and I have to remind myself I've wanted to be a writer since I was 12 years old.
Right.
And so I have to, when it's hard, I have to stop and go, hey, you're doing what you've always wanted to do. So shut up and get back to work. Stop crying about it.
I wanted to be a male gigolo. I'm not there yet, but I feel like I still have some time.
I mean, your wife does tell you to leave those other women alone, so maybe it's working out.
Yeah. I'm doing part of my dream.
It's only part of it. Let's, before we give a rundown.
Real quick. I wanted to share this hilarious story. My week opened up with my wife pulling into an intersection in my car that's about to be paid off in 3 months. I have a car that I've been paying for like 7 years. It's going to be paid off in 3 months. I was very happy about that. And she pulls into an intersection, and some crazy lady in a 2004 convertible BMW with Fast and the Furious decals. I'm not joking. Fast and the Furious decals on a convertible 2004 BMW just drifts into my wife. She gets out of the car like one of the brothers in the General Lee. She just sort of jumps out of the window, curses my wife out, and then starts running down the street.
Welcome to Southern California.
Leaving her dumbfounded passenger just confused.
Sitting in the car?
Yeah, just sitting there. My wife thought she was hurt or something because she was so confused. Just messed my car up good. And I'm looking at this BMW, and it's even more wrecked because I don't know. They're not built for taking accidents, I guess. And it's hilarious. There's literally Fast and Furious stickers and decals all over this BMW.
It's a bad idea when the police pull people over. They're looking for people like you. They're looking for people who do things like that. So
right, you're just a target. Right.
So you're
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Probably it. There's probably drugs in the car or something, or she's probably got a warrant out for her arrest.
Yeah, the cop said she had a warrant for her arrest or something.
So she took off running. Well, all right then. So you've had an interesting week.
Yeah, I have.
Well, we got some interesting stuff. I want to go ahead and just before we do the rundown of what we're going to talk about today, let's welcome Archmage Frey, the Dork Knight. Good to see you guys hanging out here. Adam Mardell, good to see you. That old Yorkshire Geek. I checked out your channel, Yorkshire Geek. I enjoy your content, buddy.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Diana Chavez, good to see you. Kenneth LaRoque, Jeremy Schneider, our longtime friends. The Random Menace, Joe Cronin, and I'm sure others will be filtering in here as we get started. We got lots of great stuff to talk about today. Brian, what are we talking about
today? We are talking about Amazon laying off 18,000 employees with more coming. Wait, is that the wrong tone? That's the wrong tone, right?
You sound almost excited.
Let me try again. Amazon laying off 18,000 employees with reports that more are coming. Snyderverse is moving to Netflix. JK.
There's definitely a movement.
Yeah.
You can't even call it it's like a movement, man.
There's a Snyderverse trying to get Netflix to buy the Snyderverse like it's a movie property or something. There's so many problems with that. There's so many amazing, unbelievably mentally challenged problems with that statement, and we'll talk about it. Of course, the weekly Terry. The weekly Terry, and it's a good one. It's a
Star Trek Picard season 3 stuff. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it's a good one. You don't want to miss this one. And Section 31 update, an actual update. Not like before, it's like, maybe it's happening, maybe it's no. This is a real update. HBO has raised its price. They really need money, guys. So they are raising their price. And you're going to be amazed at how much they're raising it to. Movie releasing this week. There's a full schedule of movies coming out. It looks like we are about to start hitting the time of the year where we actually have decent entertainment. And considering the last couple years have been tainted by COVID, I think it might be a good year. The slate is full this year. I mean, full. Some bad news. Stargate is not going to be on MGM Plus.
Well, it wasn't part of the announcement.
Wasn't part of the announcement, which is weird.
We'll go into that more.
It's weird. Space Mountain. You guys know that ride at Disneyland? You know the one that's famous for being dark? It's not going to be dark anymore. I don't know why. That's so stupid to me.
There's such little news on it. We'll save that for when we get
That's going to be a fun conversation. Fake News Friday. We're talking about Quantum Leap and the ratings plummeting. And this week, a return to one of our favorite rogue galleries, Giant Freaking Robot. Giant Freaking Robot is bringing the fake news this week. And then in the rest of the stuff is in the member section. We're talking about Rings of Power and why they changed a bunch of stuff going forward. The Quantum Leap reveal that we were just pretty much right on our last 3 theories, which that's gonna be a great thing to talk about. And of course, the episode review. So it's going to be a great show. That's a lot of stuff to talk about. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It wasn't like there was no power news this week. Like there's been like a zeitgeist like news topic each week. This is like the first week in a while that like there's not a whole lot going on that affects all of us in such a way that we need to talk about it. So, but I figured the one thing that we could talk about, because I think it's important, is that at least if you're in the United States, I think that financially across the world, there's going to be issues coming. Last year was a hard year, but I hate to say it, but everybody should kind of prepare. I think it's going to get a little worse.
Yeah, it might.
There's a lot of companies that are getting ready to lay off. They hired too many people during COVID, and they're getting to the point where they've been trying to hold on to them, and now they're starting to let them go. The problem is, especially here in the United States, the problem is that when you start laying off people like this, they have a hard time finding other jobs that are similar. So Amazon isn't laying off the people who work in the warehouses. They're not laying off the people. Amazon's laying off 18,000 people. It was just announced. They're not laying off workhouse workers in the warehouses, the people delivering with their trucks. They're not getting it. It's the people in corporate, the people who were doing, Word, Excel spreadsheets, corporate work. Those people are being laid off all over the place.
Right.
Now, those jobs that they're qualified to do all over the industries, those are the people, the office workers, those are the ones getting laid off. So when they go back into the industry, they're probably not going to be able to get the same level jobs, which means they're going to have to come down. They're going to dip down into the food service jobs, right? They're going to be dipping down into the Chick-fil-A's and the which they're paying more than they've ever paid at $18, $19 an hour.
Dude, In-N-Out's paying $20 an hour.
Right. And so what I think is happening here, what I think is going to happen is a lot of these people are going to get laid off. That means it's going to put more pressure on the lower end of the workforce, and then we're going to end up with with just a more crippling economy, people not being able to buy things, and this terrible rotation that happens. And what's really going to happen is as they start paying these lower income people, like lower jobs, like the McDonald's and the people in food services and some of these lower wage jobs, as they start raising their wages up higher, and good for them. The problem is the people who've been in the workforce for 20 or 30 years who are making like 25 bucks an hour or 30 bucks an hour, they're never going to get a raise again. It's just going to stop.
Right.
While they're paying these lower wage people more, it's going to halt the wage increases for the middle people. And what's going to happen is everybody's going to end up kind of making the same wages down the road. So, it's frankly speaking, it's a form of like Marxism, a form of socialism that's happening, that's coming in, where people are going to start making it. It's going to be very delineated. There's not going to be a big difference.
It's like a natural evolution of that. You know what the interesting thing is a lot of, during COVID and everything, and I'm all for workers' rights, like rock and roll, get your bag. But we might have gone a little too hard in the paint when we were like, you know what? We don't want to come back to work. We all want to work remotely.
Right.
Don't ask me what I'm doing. How dare you? I'm doing my job. I'm valuable. You can't fire me. I have these protections. And now a lot of people are going to be getting laid off. And those same people that were used to making that money, working from home and with that schedule from working from home, are now going to be working, at the In-N-Out down the street. They're not going to have the same, free time or the freedom of schedule. And that's really important. I got to tell you, as someone who works from home a lot, I don't like you would have to pay me. Some business would have to pick me up for so much more than I'm making now. It would have to be like a $15, $20 increase for me to want to give up my ability to control my time and take care of my kids. And especially when people have families and they go to, you got to drop your kids off at school and you got to pick them up and you got to, gone are the days when both parents are working and you have to have 2 cars and 2 insurances and two of everything. When you're working from home, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have the 2 incomes, but not have to conform to the 9 to 5. And I think that we didn't put a lot of credit. We didn't put a lot of importance in that very important factor that you're going to pay this much. You're able to work from home. You should be killing it to, make sure that your worth is valuable, and you can't just mail it. When you're working from home, you can't mail it in. When you're sitting, at a retail establishment, that whole adage, if you're leaning, you're cleaning. I guess, you can sort of mail it in there and like, oh, when you're clock out at 5, you're done. But when you're working from home, I feel like you got to show your value a little bit more because there's no one tracking anything. And when it comes down to the company needing to lay people off, they're going to lay off the people that they can't actually see is producing value, right?
Yeah. No, it's 100% true. Like 80% of your job is showing up on time. Like I was told that back when I was in the military. I used to tell my people, like 80% of your success is just show up to work on time in a clean uniform.
Right.
Because, your employer takes upon themselves what you're supposed to do. When with all these people at home, I mean, you've got all these distractions. You've got your phones, you've got the computer that you're working on and nobody watching you. You don't have somebody walking behind you checking to see how you're doing your work. And it's very hard for human beings to not be completely distracted by a video game or social media or something else, and to come to find out they just don't do much work. And then when it comes time to quantify that work, when an employer's like, well, what is Joe, what is Jimmy doing down there? Like, what does he do for us? Like, well, let's take a look. Well, I can't really figure out what he does. Oh, okay, he's gone.
According to his logs, he spent 12 hours yesterday on Reddit.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is they haven't figured out. Now, if employers ever figure out how to like put a tracker on your stuff, like that could actually work, like you couldn't just leave it on your thing and do nothing.
They have
like
some, but they're so easy to disembowel. Yeah.
until that, so people are going to be going back into the workforce. I mean, some people are still going to be working from home, I think, but you're going to see this mass move back into the workforce, I think, now, because people can't stay off their phones. That's very simple.
You know what's really funny? Everyone was mad at Elon Musk when he told the Tesla employees, "Hey, you got to come back to work. You know, pandemic's over. I need you back in the offices, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was mad. They're like, "How dare you? You know, we have gotten used to working from home, and you know, we've gotten used to this certain quality of work or whatever." Notice he didn't fire them. He said,
"Yeah, you just come back to work.
You got to come back to work, or you can't work here." Amazon just said you're fired, right?
Right.
No one's mad at Amazon over this, but they gave Elon Musk hell on earth, right? For just saying, "Hey, you got to come back to the office." That's, I mean,
yeah, no.
At least they had the option, right?
But that's But that's what the world we live in now. It's a world of you owe this to me. Right. You know, I'm entitled to everything that I get. You know, the worst thing that we're going to look back on that we've done to our younger generations is we've made them an entitled bunch of crybabies, frankly speaking.
Dems are facts, Jack.
Yes. So anyways, I just wanted to let everybody know that if you're holding on to some cash on the side, make sure you got that little nest egg just kind of hanging out there for in case somebody comes in and messes up whatever situation you have going on.
And I don't want to further frustrate or scare anyone or anything, but if you are holding on to cash, recognize that inflation is like a real thing, and like maybe put it somewhere where it's safe from inflation and not just under your mattress.
It's a hard time though for that right now.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to know what to do with your money because it seems like wherever you put it, it just goes down. So right now the stock market is doing a nice little rebound over the last week. And I would say, you know, put your money in stocks. If you're going to put your money in stocks, put it in something like, you know, Coke or why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. I read Archmage's comment.
Listen, you're not allowed to read the comments while we're doing
sorry. I know we're not supposed to, but this
put all your money in FTX. Nice one, Archmage. Nice.
I think I'm good.
That is great. You know, they found like $5 billion of the money that was gone.
Yeah, and guess what? Didn't go to a single one of the retail investors.
I know. Of course not.
Not a single retail investor got a single dollar from that. Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
From an official place of view, though, I would say if you are going to invest your money, put it into a long-term company that pays a dividend. So that way, you know, you get something for it. If you're going to put your money, I would put it in, and we're not financial advisors, but you know, there's a really good one. WRK is a great company that's got huge upside right now. It pays a good dividend. I think it's a pretty safe place to put your money.
Listen, if you want to ride or die with me, I'm in Coke, baby.
You can never go wrong with Coke. I mean, it's never going to go anywhere. It's going to always fluctuate around the same price.
Yeah.
It's a very safe place. I mean, Warren Buffett put all of his money in, you know, he bought Coke.
And I'll tell you what, if it does go belly up, you can say that we both went belly up together as a family.
I don't think that's going to make anybody feel any better, bro.
I was reading Wall Street Bets the other day. And people were bragging about how much money they've lost. Like it's funny.
Well, I mean, that's all you can do right now. That's all you can do.
I guess. Okay, enough of this boring crap. It's not boring, but let's move on to something a little more.
I was gonna say it's your money. It's not boring. What
it's not boring. But I mean, for real, we're not financial investors. But I have slowly moved any kind of savings I have into pretty much Coke and Disney. That's it.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing about Disney. It's not going to pay you a dividend. No. And as much as we're all pissed at Disney about certain things all the time,
Disney's horrible.
Yeah. It'll double. It'll double in the next 20 years.
100%. Yeah. It's the lowest it's ever probably ever going to be in a long, long time. So
I see they're talking about like a Popcast currency over here. Hey, listen, guys, I have not given up on on crypto. So we need a pop coin. That would be great. I like that, Archmage. Pop coin. We'll get Elon to do a tweet about it.
Let's rug pull that pop coin.
We'll get Elon to do a tweet about it. We'll quickly make $1 million and then get out.
Oh, we can hire Logan Paul. He can tweet about it. He can tweet about
No
the new
one
pop
trusts
coin.
Logan Paul anymore.
That idiot was like, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be mean. All right, wait, who cares?
He's a rich idiot, whatever you want to call him.
That idiot was like, after all the horrible things that he's getting caught for now, all at the same time somehow, he tweeted, "The Matrix is coming for me. It's real, guys."
Oh God,
he's so dumb.
Idiocracy is real, bro.
I don't understand how people like that have so much money.
He got lucky. He timed YouTube properly.
Yeah, good for him.
Right generation.
I saw this Meat Canyon cartoon. I would show it to you, but I'm sure it'll get copyright claimed. Where Logan Paul is from the fans' perspective, and he's holding like a phone, like he's videotaping Logan Paul, and Logan Paul runs up and goes, "Hey, what's up? What's up, bro? That's a nice shirt you got on. Let me get that shirt." He's like, get his shirt off. Come on, get his shirt off. He's just like, he's basically just robbing this fan in real time. It's great. All right, man. Let's move on. We're going to talk about something a little more fun. I guess fun to complain about, right?
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like politics. This next thing. Let's talk about that.
Okay. We're talking about the Snyderverse. That's right, all you Snyderverse fans, all the Snyder bros out there. We are talking about your favorite topic, and more importantly, your latest movement. Ready? The Snyderverse is moving to Netflix.
Why did you say that? That's not true.
That's not true at all, actually.
What did happen is if you're hanging out on Twitter today, there's about 18,000 tweets that all said hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix. And people have started to pile onto this, and it's becoming this whole thing. Apparently, the thing about James Gunn, I tell you, it's such a bad taste. When you say Henry Cavill's back as Superman, and then you like punch him in the face, but you bring him up on stage and you put all the cameras in the whole world on him and then punch him in the face. It's such a bad look. And, you attach Henry Cavill to the Snyderverse mania, these crazy, we don't want to call them crazy fans. I love Justice League Snyderverse.
Yeah, no, I like the Snyderverse. Yeah.
Snyder Cut is top 3 all time for me.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
and we're not. This is not hyperbole. I literally just watched it again with my kids, and it is a master. To me, I believe the Snyder Cut Justice League is a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. So, but we also are reasonable enough to understand that you don't always get what you want. We're not entitled. Let's put it, we're not entitled people. We get that we can't always have what we want, but there are some people out there who just cannot let go of what we are never going to get. And it pains me a little bit. Like there's a pain in my chest a little bit when I realize that world is over. So I get to some degree, like the desire and the want to force it to get behind this movement, which it's a movement.
It is a movement.
What they want to do is they want Warner Brothers to sell the Snyderverse to Netflix.
I can't even let you get through that without laughing. It's so silly.
Well, I'll tell you something even sillier. It's possible.
No, it's not.
It is.
Okay.
It is possible.
All right, you're gonna have to explain to me in detail how that is even remotely possible.
It's totally unrealistic, but it is possible through specialized licensing.
You're talking about
license.
Oh, you're talking about Elseworld licensing, like this did with Spider-Man.
They could license only the Snyderverse Justice League. That's Jared Leto Joker. That's certain characters and people. They could license it to Netflix. And let me tell you, Netflix, they're doing fine, but they are going to continue needing to add content. So it kind of like if somebody were going to do something this crazy and Snyder even wanted to do it. And you also know that Snyder's working for Netflix, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
So-
the people at Netflix love Snyder. Between Army of whatever Darkness and Rebel Moon, they're clearly in the Snyder, game. But dude, so you're saying technically it's possible for Warner to license these characters for a temporary time, like as long as they're like producing this content for this decade or whatever it is. Technically, yes. I guess that's technically possible, but might be the most unlikely thing to ever happen in Hollywood. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen because if DC is serious at all about making money with DC Studios, why would they try to split their fan base and compete with themselves at the same time? Imagine if Disney was like, yeah, we're making an Iron Man movie. You can make it. You can also make an Iron Man movie. And we'll see how it goes.
No, I mean, I don't think that Warner. Hold on a sec. I'm going to be right back.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, let's look at some of this amazing artwork, right? This outstanding artwork we got here. People are putting a lot of effort into this. Look at this. Gotta be honest. Now look at that. Looks real. Looks like something that you would see on social media about some like Snyder slate coming out or something. Some of this artwork is legit, man. Like, but people are putting a lot of effort into this artwork. Look at this. It's a face. Look at this. It's great. It's great. But it's not real. Look at Ben Affleck's the Batman. Looks great. This looks like Netflix artwork. But it's not real. And it's not only, regardless of what Shane said about how it's possible that maybe they can sell a, conditional license permit for this specific type of character or whatever from this specific universe. The odds of them doing that are, 1 in 1 billion. I don't care how many petitions. I don't care if you got 50 million people to sign a petition. DC doesn't care. They want subscribers to HBO Max. They want those billion-dollar movies. They want the Marvel train. And they're not going to compete with Netflix for it. Because if they thought it was worth something, they can actually just do the Snyderverse themselves. But they're not, because they know that the spaghetti of the DC spaghetti needs to be unraveled. So that's what's going to happen. They're going to have to unravel it. It sucks that Cavill is not a part of the DC Studios anymore. As part of the universe. It does. But, and it's a little sus that Henry Cavill is not part of the universe, but yet Wonder Woman is, The Flash is. It looks like everyone else is. Looks like everyone else is still a part of the universe, but Henry Cavill's out. To be real, that's sort of sus to me. It's almost like, okay, apparently they just, they didn't have the money to pay Henry Cavill. Or they didn't want to spend the money on Henry Cavill. But that doesn't mean that James Gunn can't utilize elements of this and utilize like the Flashpoint in the Flash movies and all that and everything going forward to sort of rework DC Universe and rebuild it in his image. And like we've said a million times, James Gunn has not let me down. I mean, let me know in the comments, in the chat. Has he let you down? Is there a James Gunn movie you guys didn't like? Because I've pretty much liked everything he made. These graphics are so cool. Someone put a lot of time into the graphics. I'm actually impressed. But regardless, look at this. Oh my god, that's so rad. It's really cool. Good artwork, man. Really good artwork. But regardless, let me know in the chat how you think this is ever going to play out. I think this is just another hashtag that's going to die. Frankly speaking, there's no way for it to really continue past this point. Artwork is great. Great movement. lot of tweets, a lot of views, a lot of people talking about this. But yeah, it ain't happening. Ain't happening, boys. As much as I like the Snyder stuff, it's not gonna happen. Jeez, it is really popping though. Jeez. All right, that's it for that. I'm gonna go over to my full screen here. That's it for that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's possible for it to happen, frankly speaking. I think that just because it legally can't happen, I still don't think it's ever going to happen. And I don't care how many people actually talk about it. I just not a thing. You know what's funny is there was this long tweet thread that I was following when this first happened, and some of the people in there are, I don't want to say the word delusional because I guess that's not fair. Like maybe they're just like they're super fans of Henry Cavill and they're super fans of Zack Snyder and they're super fans of the Snyder Cut, but like they're saying things that you see it all the time on these other YouTube videos where they're like, Kathleen Kennedy is 100% going to be fired because Solo didn't make any money. And you're like, how do you know that? Some of these tweets where they're saying, if we just get this up to more, this number, we'll guarantee that HBO will they'll be forced to pay attention to us. No, HBO doesn't have to pay attention to anything. Some of these tweets were like, they have to do what's right for their shareholders, and their shareholders need this and that and this and that. Excuse me, 1 second, guys. Hey guys, we have a slight emergency. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Hey guys, sorry about that. Shane has a slight emergency. He's dealing with it right now. And I'm sure he'll be back soon. Hopefully. I'll let him explain more about that when it happens. All right, so we were talking about the Snyder Cut stuff. Let's move on from that. Yeah, I'm sure he's okay. He's muted. I hope he's okay. All right. So listen, let's look at what we're talking about real quick. I'm a little flustered right now. Sorry about that. So when Shane comes back, we're going to talk about the Weekly Terry, Section 31, the HBO price hike, the movie releases this week, and Stargate probably not being on MGM Plus. And so hopefully he comes back pretty quick for that. And in the meantime, what's going on in the chat? What have you guys been up to? Let's talk to the chat. Oh, hey, thank you, Joe Cronin. Commercial, $5. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry about the interruption, guys. If you've been here for a while, this usually doesn't happen. This is not something that happens to us. Shane had an emergency, and then it caused me to have an emergency too. So we are. He's working that out, and when he gets it worked out, he'll be back. What have you guys been up to? Anything going on with you guys at the start? Any New Year's resolutions this year? That's what I want to hear. Does anyone have any New Year's resolutions? Tell me what your New Year's resolution is, and I'll tell you what mine is, because I actually have a couple. I do want to get healthy. I want to lose weight, but I also want to get our second channel, I guess our fourth channel up and running. The Mysteries channel, that's like my New Year's resolution for this year. I really want to get that going. Your New Year's resolution is to work? Okay. Yeah, okay. So the final Picard trailer, pretty sure it's happening. This is how trailers work. Normally, movies are roughly 300, 160, and then 40 days, right? TV shows are probably like 300, 140, 30 days. Well, we're already 30 days out as of next Tuesday, right? So we can probably see a final trailer. If I had to guess, based on my extensive knowledge of TV trailers, we can probably see a new trailer by the 16th, as early as the 16th of next Tuesday, or next Monday. So trailers usually drop on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? Normally. So we're probably going to see it on the 16th or 17th, Monday or Tuesday next week, or the 19th or 20th of next week. I think that we will get the trailer next week. And if we don't get it next week for some reason, we will 100% get it by the following week. They are not going to wait. They're not going to go into February without showing that last trailer. So, and there was some poster art that just came out. I'll show you guys. Looks pretty good. I mean, to be honest, like a lot of airbrushing in this poster, which I'll show you right now. It's almost excessive how much airbrushing is in here, but it's a cool little. It's still a cool poster. Check this out. This is the poster. Like I said, a lot of airbrushing. Patrick Stewart looks like 25 years younger there. They all look younger. Their faces have definitely been very smoothed over, I would say. But you have the Titan being chased by the Shrike. So that's the Titan here. It's being chased by the Shrike. Which we know is captained by Vatic. And that's going to be awesome. What they did with the words here is very odd too. Like it's almost like the words are moving. I don't know what is this effect? What was the purpose of that? Oh, you know what? I bet you that at some point this was inverted. It was like light rays or whatever, and then they inverted it, and now that's not good. In fact, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna look at that that theory real quick. I'm gonna open up that theory and see if that's the case. But what do we got in here? We got Patrick Stewart looking 20 years younger. We got Beverly Crusher, LaForge, Riker looking like a boss. She's been heavily airbrushed. My God. All this. Now we get to lore / data / before / something. Some kind of android or android amalgamation, right? Interesting how looks like he's wearing a Starfleet uniform, I think. I don't know. I don't know why they would put him in a Starfleet uniform on the poster. But notice that Rafi is not in a Starfleet uniform. Odd. Very odd. Okay, so I'm going to open up Photoshop here. Okay? This is Photoshop. We're just going to invert this, and you tell me what you see. Yeah, so I think the letters originally were supposed to look like that. But when they put it on a light background, they just invert it. And now that's why it has those little weird streaks. It looks better inverted. All right. Yeah, so that's the trailer. Nothing special. It looks, it has like sort of a throwback, sort of an homage to like the TNG era. Those old like Goonies movie posters and, the movie posters and TV show posters where all the characters are on there and they're all heavily airbrushed. They look almost like they're drawn. Pretty much every Popcast thumbnail, I do the same exact thing. Looks good. I like it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Oh, we got another super chat from Joe. What do you think about Picard dropping 1 or 2 free episodes on YouTube? Well, in the past, they have dropped like the first episode, like of Discovery and Strange New Worlds. I think the first season of Picard too. They would just drop that first episode on YouTube. So it's possible. I don't know if they did that with season 2 though. I don't remember if they did that with season 2. So if they did that with season 2, then they'll probably do it again. They'll probably do it for season 3 too. I mean, I guess it's a pretty good business model, right? Like, drop this first episode, let people see if they like it or not. Get them to buy off on it, get people talking about it, and then, maybe they sign up for for Paramount Plus. Maybe. Yeah, the thing about let me look at your chats real quick. Yeah, Stewart looks like X-Men 3. Yeah, he does look that way. Like, they airbrushed him almost too much. Like, you gotta show some of the wrinkles. Like, come on, guys, look at this. You gotta show some of the wrinkles. That's a 90-year-old man right there. Yeah, I don't think so, Ruben. I don't think Picard season 3 is gonna suck, and I can tell you why I don't think so. Because I saw it, and it's really good. And you're just gotta take my word for it because I can't prove that to you. I did not like Picard seasons 1 or 2. Neither did Shane. We despised Discovery. We thought Strange New Worlds was okay. Some episodes were great, some weren't. We saw season 3 very early. We were fortunate to see it early, and it's fantastic. It is a return to Berman style Star Trek. It is and I'm being careful what I'm saying. And it's almost like a continuation of TNG. It definitely continues that story, and you get more of the characters. And there's a big time jump, obviously, but it really does a great job addressing the time jump and what happened to those characters in that time. It's just really, really wonderful. And some of the decisions you might, with these characters you might not like. I'm sure there's gonna be some things that people don't like. But overall, the season was just incredible. It was one of the best seasons of Trek I've seen since the Voyager days, man. Just really good Star Trek, really great characters, really great moments. Like the way they wrap up everything and sort of just ignore the first 2 seasons, which is great. It's probably the best way to do it. Just overall, just a really good time. I enjoyed it. Shane enjoyed it. You know, and we can't wait. We can't wait for February to come so everybody can see that we're not bullcrapping you. We're not BSing you. It's good. It's really good. Yes, you're right. Brent Spiner did have a Starfleet uniform on in the trailer. I guess you're right. But it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. So just so you guys know, that's a little bit of a spoiler right there. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, Picard seasons 1 and 2 were really bad. Quite bad. I think 1 was worse than 2, but I think 2 felt like it was worse because we all expected it to be better. And it started off better and then just sort of and the whole time with season 2, it felt like they can pull up out of this mess. They could fix this narrative and sort of like bring it home. And it was pretty evident close to like the 6th and 7th episode of that season that they were going to stay in the past and they weren't going to bring it. They weren't going to tie up the storylines. It wasn't going to work out. And that I think Picard season 1 was the worst season of Picard, but the most disappointing season was probably season 2. If to me at least. Let's check on Shane real quick. He's still dealing with that. All right, what else you guys got here? I don't trust Kurtzman as far as I can throw him. He'll find some way to mess it up. Yeah, I mean, except for it's already in the can. He didn't really have any involvement in season 3. The show is already happening. The most he can mess up now is maybe like retroactively, like he can come out with a series or some kind of show after Picard season 3 that somehow makes Picard season 3, not as good. But he can't. The show's already in the can, like it's already done. I gotta tell you what, like I said, we saw it a few months ago, and what we saw, unless they air something different, which I don't see why they would do that. It's very good, very very good. But you're right. One of our stories today is we're talking about Kurtzman literally was on an interview. he was. I'll give you guys a quick sneak peek. Kurtzman was talking to who was he talking to? No, where is it? Kurtzman was just talking. Oh, he was talking to Red Shirts Always Die, and he literally was like, this was his actual quote. Okay. When we started the series, Patrick Stewart and we all talked about really wanting to just be 3 years. Feeling like we can really tell a complete story, with the season you're now seeing as our endpoint. That being said, anything is possible. If the show blows the doors off the place, and we're certainly hoping it will, and we're very proud of season 3, who knows? I don't know. Alex Kurtzman's always just talking out of his ass, man. I'm telling you. He also said there is still enormous potential for a narrative and what we've been doing, and there are doors being left open still. We didn't close all of them. That's true. I saw it. There are definitely doors open. You can definitely do stuff with the universe after Picard's gone. That's 100% fact. They said, would a continuation of Star Trek Picard include the stars of Star Trek Next Generation? Kurtzman hopes season 3 will blow the doors off the place And that could very well happen with all the returns from the Next Generation. But if season 3 is the most successful of the seasons and the series is continued, would all the actors, including those from TNG, return for season 4? Well, there won't be a season 4. There is not going to be a Picard season 4. This is definitely, when you saw the poster, what did the poster say? It said, the final season, right? Well, it's the final season because it is the final season of Picard. 100%, it wraps up Picard's storyline. But that doesn't mean that you can't have another show that comes out of Picard and sets up a whole new show that uses some of the actors and some of the characters or whatever from Picard season 3 and from TNG, probably sans Picard himself. And you can continue it, but it's not going to be Picard season 4. And we can only pray that Terry Matalas would be involved in that in some way, because he is the reason why Picard season 3 is going to be good. So if you continue the future with another crew, whatever, that came from Picard season 3 as almost like a spinoff, without getting the showrunner that made it successful, you're obviously making a huge mistake. A massive mistake. Donnie Person said, despite my mixed feelings about the current Star Trek shows, the scores and the theme tunes among the things I love the best about all generations of Star Trek. Yeah, the music is amazing. Man, you wrote that 15 times, dude. I got it. Archmage says, 1 was worse than 2, as a season 2 was worse than 1 for all the canon muley. Yeah, that's true. Season 2 really messed with canon. The Borg and time travel, man. It's 5% of the time travel is done well. The other 95% of the time travel just ruins everything. And it's almost like if you're not sure of yourself, if you haven't crossed your T's and dotted your I's and you are rock and roll in this canon and you know exactly what you're doing with the time travel aspect of a show, especially when the entire season is about time travel, not one episode, just stay away from time travel. What did Dan Harmon say about Rick and Morty? He was we're never going to do time travel. We're just never going to do it. And it's funny because there's a box on behind Rick's workshop in his garage that says time travel stuff. And that's almost like an homage. He's never going to open the box. He's never going to deal with time travel because it's just too hard to keep the continuity correct. Speaking of Netflix, I understand it will be the new exclusive home to the Screen Actors Guild Award beginning next year. This year, however, will stream on Netflix YouTube channel. Someone tell me, are you watching award shows? I think the last award show I saw was when I actually don't remember. It's been a long time. I think maybe the Golden Globes? 2 years ago? I don't know. I don't care. I don't think anyone really cares too much about that. Their ratings are always in the trash because they're just so boring. And they're so predictable. They're so predictable. And they're bougie, man. They're bougie. These fart sniffing people are making decisions and regular people are just eh. Donnie Pearson, I must be honest about Picard. On one hand, the seasons 1 and 2 premieres were decent for me. On the other hand, the rest of the season was just okay. And the rest of the season 2 was so-so for me. Yeah. Season 2 had the ability to pull out of that nosedive. And it just never happened. It's very odd. Joe Cronin, I love the Picard Data opening in season 1, and then it just goes to hell until Riker shows up. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Riker, I remember watching that and being so annoyed with the Cloud City scene and there's so many filler episodes in season 1 of Picard. It's like 5 or 6 episodes. You can cut out the majority of those episodes and still tell the same story. It's crazy. But Riker was great. Horrible Nation. Hey, Brian. Hey, brother. Shane is dealing with an emergency. I hope he comes back soon. Except for Enterprise. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but I did love Enterprise. Yeah. I'm with you, Elizabeth. I do not like... No, actually, let me correct that. I do like time travel and alternate universes when it's done well. When it's done well, premium kino. But it's so easy to screw up and so easy to step on its own feet and just ruin what came before it that it's better maybe just stay away from it because it almost never works out. Although, Terry Metalis, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a TV show he worked on prior to Picard. He worked on a bunch of stuff, but he worked on a show called 12 Monkeys, which was almost like an adaptation of the movie. Dude, a lot of time travel in that show. Very good. Like, amazing work. He did a really good job. So he clearly knows how to write time travel. All right, what else you guys say? Oh, you saw the Golden Globes on Tuesday? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just have no interest in it. Like, literally. Archmage Frey, I would say, in my opinion, the last few Trek outings have been the best of New Trek. Strange New Worlds, Prodigy, and now hopefully Picard. Yeah. I finally finished Prodigy. Pretty good. Pretty good. Good show. I feel like they're cheating a little bit with animation. Like, if that was live action, Trekkies would be all over it. But although I love that homage when they were doing the Kobayashi Maru and he was able to bring different crewmates from different eras, right? And he brought in Spock, and you can tell they were using Spock's voice from like the original series, but it still really felt good to hear and see a version of Spock again. Carlos, Popcast, I am very wary of the hype. It ran the same way for the first 2 season openers and got a massive late letdown. Teresa has a lot of work to settle these issues. Is Picard still a bot? Yeah, so great questions, bro. Picard is still a bot, but it's really not referenced or even brought up in season 3, so I wouldn't worry about that horrible piece of canon. And as far as the other, I mean, you're right. I actually did not feel that way about season 1. Season 1 was a little bit of a slow burn for me. Season 2 opened a lot better. The first 2 episodes were pretty good. Then it just all went to crap. But I did watch season 3, like the whole season, not just first couple episodes. And you are hooked. The first episode hooks you. And then you were just on that ride the whole time. And I guarantee you're not going to want to get off that ride. It's just too good. I'm not trying to hype it up. I'm sure some people won't like it. But I can tell you that my taste and our tastes are probably very similar, and I loved it. It was awesome. I love TNG. I love Voyager. I like Enterprise. I love Prodigy. I love these shows. I hated Discovery. I did not like the first 2 seasons of Picard. And season 3 of Picard is just doesn't have any of the hangups that Picard 1 and 2 had. And it's less about Picard and more about everybody. So it's good. I really think you're going to like it. The last award show I watched in the 20th century. Yeah, that sounds about right. What do you love about award shows, though? Like, are you ever surprised that, like, some bougie art house film won Best Picture, I'm never surprised. Never. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Still need a coupon code. I gave you a coupon code, man. It's Dork Night. It's Dork Night. I emailed it to you. My favorite episode of season 1 was Wreck-It Troy episode. Yeah, mine too. Yeah, the second you brought in those characters, it like the old chemistry came back. And that's what I'm saying about Picard season 3. Picard's not alone with new characters. He's with the old characters. And the chemistry is there. Yes, both seasons of Picard would have been better as just 2 movies. Right. I completely agree with you. I hate what they did with Q. Imagine if it would have been like he was involved. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I did like that last scene though, when I don't know. I love Delancey and Stewart's chemistry together. And if we have to lose Q, that was a pretty touching way to do it. Now, that begs the question, however, did we have to lose Q? Like, why did we lose Q? And I still don't, even though I made a video on this topic trying to explain the timelines, I still don't fully understand how Q was even involved. Like, did he save them from the Borg? Did he shift them? I don't even know. There's too many theories out there. It's not clear. And why is he dying? And if Q is dying, is the whole continuum dying? Or is this one Q dying? Again, it seemed like a cheap way to kill off like this amazing character. And I realized that he went out doing, one last thing for his favorite human, which is nice. But there could have been so much more to that. Like the Q continuum and his death or whatever could have been an entire season. Not just like a C story, a part of a season. It could have been in the entire season. But they wanted Q, and they didn't want Q to have all of his powers because he's sort of OP. So they go, well, Q's dying, so he doesn't have all of his powers. Well, the second you say that, now you have to like finish that thought, and that thought ends poorly. So maybe you could have been like, I don't know. He angered the Q continuum and they took away his powers. And I don't know, but there's better ways you could have done this. And killing off like this iconic immortal character with no real explanation is just dumb. It's super dumb. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, I love Enterprise too. Great show. Yeah, I've been trying to binge watch Enterprise with my wife. She will not get into it, man. Keeping track of all the in-show canon with all the time travel says a lot about Tiny Terry. Yeah, he is able to do that because he's a fan. So he was a fan of 12 Monkeys. He wrote it front to back. So he didn't have to worry about some writer coming in and messing with his work. He had the last say on it, which is why it was such a good show. Awesome. You guys check that out. They're reviewing Prodigy today at 5. Yeah. Pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's name out your damn mouth. Yeah. That was I saw that clip. Good for Eddie. Good for Eddie Murphy. What's funny is seeing Eddie Murphy like censor himself is hilarious. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw his old stand-up, like Raw and all that. He never censored himself before. It's funny how he like specifically censors himself now. I guess he has to, right? He's an A-list actor now. He's a family man. You owe $70K in taxes? Oh my God, Joe. I'm going to need more information on how that's even possible. You owe a bookie? Like, how does that work? M. Stark, I get the skepticism about Picard after the first 2 seasons. That's why they've got to get something new for us to talk about and get excited. Yeah. And it's good. It's very good. I only know about 2 other people that have seen it. And that's me and Shane, obviously, and then Robert Meyer Burnett. And we were all in the same sort of circle. Like, we all sort of feel the same way about Picards 1 and 2, about Discovery, about Prodigy, about Enterprise, about, all the drama that encompassed the untold story of the secret reboot. And we're both on the same page here. We both really, really love Picard Season 3. I think Robert Meyer Burnett likes it more than we do, because he was like on the verge of tears. It was like, it's so good. I'm like, okay, bro, all right, bro. Not to get too dark but a tall building could be on the future. No, Joe, don't go that way. Tax, money don't matter, bro. Money is not important. Money is a tool. Money is a tool that you use to live. But you can go off grid and become a different person and still live. You'll be fine. Don't go any tall buildings, man. Listen, I've had a lot of money and I've had no money, and I gotta tell you, my happiness levels are pretty much the same. Those people that are like, money can buy happiness. Well, no, money can buy stuff that makes you think you're happy, but in reality, usually money just sort of clouds the real values of life, the things that really make you happy. Healthy kids, a good partner, good TV shows, good conversations, stuff that don't cost a lot of money. about movies and award shows. I would yeah, I'd be surprised if anything I like wins, because it's usually some, like I said, some art house nonsense. And I don't know about you, but like, does anyone, when these movies win some, like, let's call it Tasting Sunshine from the eclectic trans director Roberto Florenzi, aired at Sundance, you're like, how could any of us have seen that movie? Like, how much of the audience is going to Sundance? And let's say the movie's out. How much of the audience even knows it exists? How is it, like, you're letting movies win awards that no one has seen. It's just fart smelling critics, man. The whole committee at these award shows are just garbage people. You're right. The final scene of Q only works because of TNG. Right. It would not work on its own. You would have to know the entire history of TNG and know that whole show and everything to really understand that. You're right. Completely right. Which is why they shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have killed off Q. They still could have used Q without making it a finite thing, in my opinion. I don't know. Then again, Q is sort of outside space and time. Maybe that version of Q is dead, but there's another version of Q that's around. We don't know. You cried buckets when Hugh was killed? Yeah, I didn't really care about Hugh too much. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people loved Hugh. I was like, he was cool. But I had like a connection with Q. Q was in a lot of my favorite episodes, and I read like books after the fact, and I read a lot of Q books. I didn't read a whole lot of Hugh books or Borg books, so I was really mainly a fan of Q. I liked seeing Hugh; that was nice, but it didn't really matter to me that he died. You made a fan made trailer for Power Rangers. That's cool. Yeah, a friend of mine, Ping Pong Flicks, he covers like a lot of DC stuff, but he also covers Power Rangers. A lot of people love Power Rangers. You know, I think I watched it when I was growing up, but I wasn't really ever a huge fan. Because I was a Star Trek guy, man. I was watching Star Trek the whole time. Carlos, I don't think anyone's word for a show. I based my temperament on my years of experience of watching sci-fi. Didn't see anything, but still have a wide berth to many. Yeah. No, you don't have to take my word for it. I would just give it a shot, dude. Like, definitely, like, don't. A lot of people are saying we're not gonna watch it because Picard season 1 and 2 was bad. Like, okay, well, you're just depriving yourself. You don't have to watch it, but those same people are saying, "Oh, it sucks," and they haven't even seen it yet. So they literally can't know if it sucks. I would give it a shot. I think you'll like it. PJ, right there, on the money, bro. I'm gonna stop talking. They should have made Q make Picard human again when he returned home. Yeah, that would have been great. I feel like, yeah, Terry might have done that just to spite the previous showrunners. They should have Q be in trouble from a more powerful entity, and he lost his power, so he needed Picard's help. So he said, I like that. He was losing his powers from, like, you know what character they never really fleshed out to me is I gotta look it up here. I think the character is called Zero, I believe. No. There's a character in Prodigy called Zero, but there was another character in TOS. It was almost like a oh, no, it was like the letter 0. Yeah. I'm sorry, the number 0. What the hell is wrong with me? The number 0. This character right here. I always felt like he was like he had similar powers to Q. I can't find an image of it. There are clearly other like godlike beings out there that messed with the TOS crew. Remember that giant face? I forgot what it was called. Someone tell me in the comment section. Remember the giant face that was like talking to him and smacking around the ship? Like, that's a race of beings that is clearly extraordinarily powerful. It would have been nice to see them at like maybe like a war between them and the Continuum, and it needs Picard's help. I don't know. They could have done something with that. Joe Cronin, YouTube is my full-time job for 5 years. I was off my $6K a year, and and I'm an idiot. We should do a podcast sometimes. Yeah, man. You know, YouTube it's hard to make it a full-time job. Like, we have like 4 channels, and they don't pay enough. At least not for 2 people, that's for sure. Like, we still have to have our regular jobs. Yeah, I guess you're right. I have 2 kids. I couldn't hide either. But dude, listen, debtor's prison is it's a short time stint, bro. Ask Dennis Rodman. That dude went to jail for like 6 months, and he owed like $500,000. Like, come on, just knock it out in a month, dude. Call it good. I remember I had like 10K of parking tickets once. I just went to jail for like a week, cleared it all up. This is like 20 years ago. Austin Butler. Who is that? Who is Austin Butler? Oh, for Elvis. Yeah, I heard that was good. I have not seen that yet, though. I should probably watch that. I'm not really a big fan of biopics. Some are good, some are whatever. You know. Yes, Q's son is still out there. Except for if Q died because the Q continuum was dying, then all of Q dies, right? So it wouldn't matter if it was. But if only. See, that's why we need more explanation. If only Q died, but no one else died. And why would Q die? Is he just that old? Does everything eventually die, even after eons and eons? I don't know. I mean, it sort of makes sense, but it wasn't explained. Yeah, so for me, the same. Like, while I hated that. I hated what they did with the character. I still love seeing the character. Again, another reason why I didn't really care too much about Hugh, and Q was definitely my jam, was not just TNG, but also, Voyager and the books and the extended universe stuff, How is the balance between nostalgia and moving the story forward in season 3? Well, the story never stops moving forward. And the nostalgia, the memory berries are just part of the story. They're not just tapped on to be tapped on. Well, there's a couple of things that might be tapped on to be tapped on, but the majority of it is definitely moving the plot forward in a way that is very unique and very reminiscent of Berman era Star Trek. Got through that minefield. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions about Picard season 3 that's not a spoiler, I can probably answer you. Hit the chat. Yeah, Trelane. That was the character. Yeah, he wasn't. I feel like he was like a Q. I mean, I think the Salty Trekker was talking about, like, he had a theory about how he was just a Q. That's right. I'm thinking about this guy. Nagilum. Thank you. Yeah, okay. So what's up with this guy? This character was ridiculously strong, right? I mean, don't you think the race, whatever race this guy's from, can compete with the Qs? Yeah, this dude right here. Huh. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely some races out there that could have competed with the Q in some way, and you could have written that better, and you could have given us some much needed closure on stuff like this. Like, where did this character come from? What is it? How does it work? I love when I type it in. It's like, I type in Nagalum or whatever his name is, and the first thing is like Nagalum versus Q. Like, that's a real. People have been. That's been searched enough for it to be an auto fill in. I don't know. It could have been a really cool fight. That's all I'm saying. But that's never gonna happen now. So. No, the Medusan. Yeah, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the giant face. Nagalum. I don't know how you pronounce that. Oh yeah, the Caretaker's race. Great point, Trek reviewer. So we have the Nagalum, damn these names. Trelane, Nagalum, and the Caretaker's race. So right now, in this small chat, we've already come up with 3 races of beings that are powerful enough to have competed with the Q. So hey, we're fixing it for them, guys. Let's just fix season 2. Let's not kill off Q. Let's make it an actual story. I don't know, man. Yeah, the guy who killed the poor black ensign. Yeah, that guy. I remember that. Yeah, I saw that. There's another. I think it's called Oh, there's another show, another sci-fi show on Amazon that's really good. It's called like I'm forgetting the word because it's sort of a long word. Perception or it's like, what is it called when you're seeing something out of the corner of your eye? Someone tell me what it's. It's on Amazon. It's a good show. I'll find the name. No, it's not called Perception. It's called damn it. I don't remember what it's called. Peripheral. Thank you, Dark Knight, my man. It's called Peripheral. Yes. Yeah, that show is great. If you guys have not seen Peripheral, that word you see on screen, you can check it out. The main actress in it is really fantastic. She's the chick from Kick-Ass. She was, the little girl from Kick-Ass at the time. Her name is Chloe Grace Moretz, and she's wonderful. But I gotta tell you, the real winner for me that show was her brother Jack Raynor, who played Burton Fisher, and he is, oh man, he has this. I'm not gonna spoil it too much for if you haven't seen it, but he has this crew of guys like you just think are just buddies that hang out and drink beer and shoot guns in the woods, and then when they're about to be attacked, these guys just like go into like hyper mode, and they're like a team of elite soldiers. It's sick. Great show. Really, really cool. There's some actually pretty decent sci-fi out right now, but a lot of it's really hard to invest in because you don't know how long these shows are going to last. Like that show Upload. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised when Upload got a second season. And I saw the announcement for season 3, but we'll see if that really happens. A lot of these streaming shows, they make pretty decent sci-fi shows, but they're very expensive. Science fiction is very expensive. So if it's not like an instant hit, if it doesn't just knock it out of the park, they tend to just let it flounder and kill it before it costs them a bunch of more money. Because usually the season 2 is not going to be as hot as season 1. But it takes time sometimes for science fiction to find its feet and to find an audience and to really, really ingrain itself into the culture. There's a show I'm watching with my kids called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a Marvel show, but this is before hyper, garbage woke Marvel. This is like when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on like regular TV and there was no Disney Plus. And for the first like 5 seasons, there's 22 episodes. 22 episodes a season. And then for the 6th and 7th season, there are 13 episodes. Because it was starting to cross into that sort of new way to do TV where they cut the episodes in half. But I gotta tell you, the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., didn't like it. I watched it because it corresponded in some way to the Marvel Universe that I was following, but it wasn't very good. Second season, better. More chemistry. I understood the characters more. Third season, oh, I'm hooked. And then from the 4th season on, it is just science fiction, dude. It pretty much sheds all the Marvel nonsense. And it just sort of it stops trying to be part of the Marvel universe. And 4, 5, 6, and 7 are just like every season is some different, really cool sort of science fiction trope, a la, time travel, the Matrix, space exploration, just really cool ideas. And it all sort of ends in like this like almost like 50s thing where they're all like literally like in like the 50s and like It's just a really, really clever show, and it really found its footing, and it was really, really wonderful. I don't think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would have made it past the first 8 episodes. I think it would have gotten 8. Nowadays, it would have gotten 8 episodes on Disney Plus. It would have had mixed reviews, and then you wouldn't have seen a season 2. And if you did see a season 2 by some miracle, maybe because there was contracts, it would have been like the second half of the first season. It would have been the same mixed reviews, and then they would have killed it. But because that's when new streaming is. New streaming, you there's no chance for you to actually find your legs and become an actual hit. The old way of doing it instead gave you 22 episodes, 3 season buyouts, and 7 seasons. And by the time you got to the 4th season, you were hooked. But it took almost 50 episodes of TV for you to really love this show. You are not getting 50 episodes of anything now in streaming unless it's a hit out of the gate. And that's what sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, Lost in Space on Netflix. Fantastic series. Great series. I felt like it was finally finding itself. Like it was finding itself, and it was going to be almost like the classic, week to week Lost in Space, and then just canceled. Again, it's not enough. Like I said, how many episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? 22 episodes per season for 5 seasons, and then 13 episodes, which is 26 episodes. So how many is that? Let's just do the math real quick. 110. 136 episodes of TV, and the ratings for the first 2 seasons of that show were pretty garbage. And they still kept it going. And it found its legs. Yeah, we did review the first couple episodes. We stopped reviewing Lost in Space because it was on Netflix. I just dropped everything at once, and it's no fun. It's no fun to review like per episode. It's almost better to just review the season itself. Yeah, Shane had an emergency and he just split. Let me check on him real quick. Yeah, and I like binge watching stuff, but there's no, yeah, you're right. There's no momentum when you just drop everything in one giant heap. Really, Orville? Or PJ? That's really rad. You gotta talk about that sometime. All right. The graphics was really good on Lost in Space. Like really, really good. All right. Okay. Yeah, Smallville and Supernatural the same. Yeah, 10 seasons, 13 episodes. Yeah, 22 episodes. Yeah. Well, in the last couple seasons of Supernatural, I think they limited it. But yeah, it gave it so much legs. I think Supernatural is one of my favorite shows of all time. I get it's a little bit, there's a lot of cheese in it, but it's really fun show to watch. $327 episodes of TV. Yeah. So, just so you know, that's not going to ever happen in the streaming world again. You're not going to get 327 episodes of anything. I don't care how popular Stranger Things is. You're not going to get 327 episodes. That's for sure. So they're probably going to hold that record. I'm sure. That might not even be the record. What's the longest running TV show? With a single cast. No, don't say Doctor Who. The Simpsons, 700 episodes. Okay, non-animated. That's too easy. So The Simpsons has 700 episodes, which is cool. But again, that is animated. It's sort of cheating. Law and Order, SVU, has 520 episodes and it's still going. Jeez. From 1999 to present. That's insane. Is Law and Order a good show? Maybe I should watch Law and Order. Law and Order is still going. It has the same cast? Really? That is incredible. 23 seasons. Wow. Okay. I guess technically Survivor has, 40 seasons, but it only, cast changes pretty much every season. Gunsmoke has 635 episodes. You're right. Ran from 1955 to 1975. Jeez. I can't believe Law and Order has 520. So Law and Order, are they just trying to beat the Gunsmoke record? How many they got going? They need to get another 110 episodes to match Gunsmoke. Jeez. And the number 4 on this list is, or number 3 if you discount The Simpsons, is another Law and Order, not SVU, just regular Law and Order, at 470 episodes. And one of the guys on regular Law and Order is also on Law and Order SVU, from what I can tell from the picture, which means this guy has done almost 1,000 episodes of television. That's incredible. Let's see. Family Guy, I don't count animation. Lassie had 591 episodes. Yeah, you really got to go back far. NCIS is still going. 440 episodes. Yeah, they're going to keep that going for as long as that one guy is still around. His name is Mark Harmon. As long as Mark Harmon is still alive, NCIS will just keep going. Grey's Anatomy is still going with 400 plus episodes. Jeez. All right, CSI, 300. Okay, so now we're in the 300 range. And Supernatural. So Supernatural is at number 11 of the all-time long-running shows. It's pretty damn good. On the CW, which is not a huge network. Yeah. So soap operas. That's right. If we're counting soaps, really? That's not true. Is that true? As the World Turns has 1,000 episodes? I gotta find out about this. Since 1956. There's only 7 seasons. Oh, I guess there was multiple. So we can't count it because it's not the same cast. I think the same cast, same incarnation. Technically, Quantum Leap 2022 is a continuation, but it's it's a new show. Yeah, it does say that. It says 13,000 episodes of As the World Turns. Jeez. That is crazy. Yeah. We're not going to count animation or soap operas. Okay? Because they cheat. They're cheaters. That's gnarly. I don't think I've ever seen like a real like episode of Lassie. I've seen clips of Lassie, but I've never gone on my way to actually watch Lassie. Okay. Okay. So let's move on from that. That's so funny. All right. So what are we talking about next? I don't know what's going on with Shane. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Poor bastard. We might have to cut the stream short and come back tomorrow, unfortunately. I just don't know if I have the juice to do it on my own. And there's so many cool things to talk about. Like the Section 31 update, the Stargate not being on MGM Plus announcement. And I don't want to talk about that stuff without Shane. I don't want to do the Weekly Terry without Shane. Oh, here's something we can talk about. The Space Mountain thing. All right. Everyone here has heard of Space Mountain at Disneyland, right? Probably the most iconic ride at Disneyland, Space Mountain. Whether you've heard of it or you've been on it, let me give you a rundown of how Space Mountain works. Okay? Space Mountain is almost like a sci-fi ride. It's Space Mountain is like you're going into a futuristic spaceport and you're going to get on your rocket to go to your destination, and you know, this is pretty much what you see. It's like a spaceport thing, and engage transporter, engage hyperdrive. All right, and you get to the top, and it has this really cool animation thing, and then you fly, and it's basically a high-speed roller coaster, and it looks like you're in space. Like, there are stars everywhere, and there's like, I mean, after this initial, launch sequence or whatever, it looks like you're in space. There are stars everywhere you look. It's pitch black. You're moving really fast. You can feel the wind in your face, and you can see the stars. And it's like, and planets and stuff. It's like you're in a roller coaster inside a planetarium. That's pretty much what it is. The ride does not work if there's lights on. It just doesn't. But according to Disney Dining, Space Mountain will now be a lights on always attraction, which makes no sense. Reports of a new Disney World statute requiring the lights to remain on during rides at Space Mountain and Magic Kingdom aren't sitting well with fans of the usually dark ride. Yeah, because it makes no sense. Like, you might as well just axe the ride then. It says, and even when a favorite attraction isn't going away forever, it's disappointing to learn that a refurb of the ride is scheduled for the same week you'll be visiting. I'm so glad that I brought my kids to see that. Hey, 1 second. This could be... No, it's not. I took my kids a couple weeks ago, or like a couple months ago, to Disneyland, and we got to go on Space Mountain a couple times. I'm glad they got to experience that, because as of this year, it looks like, hey, we're leaving the lights on, which is super dumb and makes no sense. What's like, this is what it looks like with the light. This is what it looks like with the lights on. Why would you want to ride that? That makes zero sense. Why would you want to ride an indoor roller coaster with no theme like that? That is so dumb. It says such an announcement is upsetting fans for the outer space themed dark coaster ride that's been thrilling guests on Disney World since 1975. The ride vehicles in the attraction reach a top speed of less than 30 miles per hour, meaning the Space Mountain isn't the most thrilling ride in the park. Yeah. The whole point of it was not how fast it went or the crazy tip and turns and all that. It was the theme. It was like a spaceport and you're going to launch into space and then you get out there and the wind's in your hair and you see the stars and the planets. It's a wild, super fun ride. They're making a mistake. I don't know. Everything now, especially at Disney, is just so corporate and so, I don't know. It makes no sense. Everything right now at Disney is just so sterile. It's like you're walking into like this sort of perfect sterile room where nothing is genuine and everything is just manufactured garbage. And you might as well start calling Disneyland Plastic Land because it just feels like plastic. It just feels like plastic bullcrap. Like Dollar Tree plastic Toyland. That's what it feels like. Yeah, that's a great question. I can't put your thing up there, Dork Knight, but that's a great question. Why are we becoming such soggy those words? I don't know. Great question. Oh, so you've actually ridden Space Mountain with the lights on, and they do it from time to time for short periods, but I can't see a reason to do it all the time. Yeah, neither can I. I've been on Space Mountain probably like 100 times in my lifetime. It's probably my favorite ride. And that's interesting. I've never been on it with the lights on. That's cool. I mean, I sort of want to try that just to sort of see everything, but I certainly I don't need to do it more than once. Like I can do it once and we're good. We're done. Okay, my guys. So I think that because Shane, I don't want to do these stories without Shane. So I don't want to do the Weekly Terry without Shane. I don't want to do Section 31 without Shane. I don't want to do Stargate MGM Plus without Shane. I certainly don't want to do Fake News Friday without Shane because he actually brought me that one. So I think we're going to probably stop for now. And we will come back tomorrow. Okay? We'll come back tomorrow at 12:30. I hope. I'll let everyone know in the community tab and on Twitter, on both channels and on Twitter. I'll let you know what time we're going to be here tomorrow, and we will pick it up tomorrow. Assuming Shane can deal. Oh yeah, I guess we can do the plea deal without Shane. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do one last story. We'll do the Ezra Miller thing. It's sort of funny. All right, let's do that. Let's do Ezra Miller's plea deal. This guy got a... Oh, wait, let me pull it up. Unbelievable. Okay. So, first off, later, Donnie. Good luck, my friend. Ezra Miller is somehow going to avoid pretty much all negative outcomes to his extraordinarily negative behavior. He's getting no jail time. He just gets to skirt. He's just a skate on by. And he accepted a plea deal. And it says, this is from Hollywood Reporter. The Flash star agreed to a suspended sentence of 89 to 90 days in jail for the misdemeanor of unlawful trespass in connection to a break-in at a southern Vermont home last spring. That's all they got on him? Is trespassing? What? Just trespassing? And a suspended sentence, which means he's not going to jail, right? Someone tell me, am I correct? I'm pretty sure that means he's not going to jail. Yeah, you can defer. Oh my God. All right. This is what it says. Ezra Miller is due in court Friday, where the Flash actor is set to accept a plea deal to avoid jail time in connection with the break-in at the Southern Vermont home last spring. Miller agreed to a suspended sentence of 89 to 90 days in jail for the misdemeanor of unlawful trespass. According to a plea deal filed with the Vermont Superior Court in Bennington, Miller will also be fined $500. Oh no. Plus a $192 surcharge and be placed on probation for a year. The two other charges were dropped, including felony burglary, I can't say the word, that could have carried a sentence of 25 years in prison. He is being fined $692 and a suspended sentence with a year of probation. Wow. Miller pleaded not guilty in October to stealing liquor from a neighbor's home, one of a string of arrests and reports of erratic behavior by the actor last year that stretched from Hawaii to New England. Vermont State Police responded to the complaint in the town of Stanford on May 1st, found that several bottles of alcohol had been taken from. That's not important. It's not important that the guy, it is. He broke into someone's house and drank their liquor. That's the least of the problems. He's on camera physically assaulting people, women. There are family members of underage minors that were filing actual missing person reports because he kidnapped underage teenagers. How is this possible? I don't understand how it's even remotely possible that he is going to pay $692 in charges and get a year of probation, pretty much. So it's a suspended sentence, which means as long as he doesn't do anything else for 89 to 90 days, he won't go to jail. And he gets a year of probation, which means don't do anything stupid for a year and pay a little bit less than $700, and you're good. Yeah, what happened to the Dakota Storm Eyes? Geez, that name is hard to pronounce. Dakota Storm Eyes. Where is Dakota? Let's find out. All right, Dakota Storm Eyes. Oh, wait. Oh, Shane's back, everyone. Let me finish real quick. Let's go. Dakota Storm Eyes. Nope. No news. I don't know, whatever her name is. She's not here. That is incredible. That is incredible. Hey, Shane might be back, by the way. Yeah, money buys amazing lawyers. That is the truth. Yeah, why is he so protected? Is it because his status? Is it because how he identifies? Or because he's weird? Or they are weird? I got a lot of crap for the last video I put out because I keep saying he. And when I see Ezra, I see a he. It's very difficult for me to remember to say they. Hey, Shane might be back. Shane, can you hear me? Okay. Looks like Shane's back. All right. Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comment section about the Flash. Okay? Because clearly Ezra Miller is protected by someone. By the studio, by lawyers, by money, by something. I don't know. I wish I had protection. I'll tell you what. I think that I got in an accident once when I was like 19. I think it cost me like $3,000. I had my license suspended for like going too fast. It was like I wish I had good lawyers. That guy kidnaps a child, physically assaults multiple people on camera, breaks into someone's house, drinks the liquor, and he only gets a trespassing charge and $700. Incredible. Okay, looks like Shane is back, y'all. We are not ending the show. We're still here. Shane, I was just about to end it, but then you came back in like the hero we all need. Welcome
you can
back.
say you could do this on your own, man. You got this.
Listen, I was really. I'm so sorry, guys. Excuse my cursing. I was really fucking trying. It is so fucking hard to do this on my. I don't know how a lot of these guys do it. No problem. I am just not used to that. Maybe if I had started doing this where I'm just talking to myself, but I feel like I'm going nuts every minute that goes by. I'm going a little more crazy.
I get it. No, it's not easy to do this. We've been doing it together for so long that it's got to be weird to just kind of go the whole time by yourself. So
yeah.
Anyways, so sorry I had to bail. But I am back. Where are we at?
All right. Let me catch you up. We finished the Snyderverse thing.
Okay.
Somehow. I skipped the weekly Terry because there's no way I'm doing that without you. I skipped section 31 because there's no way I'm doing that without you. I skipped Stargate, and pretty much we talked about Space Mountain and the Flash for the last hour and a half.
I see. So essentially, you captured all the light topics.
Yeah.
Save the tough stuff for when I came. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like,
guys, I think that I'm going to have to. We're gonna have to come back tomorrow because. And what's funny is Archmage saved the day because he's like, why don't we talk about the Ezra thing real quick? I'm like, okay, and then you came back around. So.
Oh, good. Well, yeah. So unfortunately, I would never typically do that, but I did have a personal emergency, and yeah, so it's being dealt with. And I said, well, I'm going to go back and finish my stream because people have come and waited all week. So we're going to come back and do this.
Yorkshire said Shane could have came back covered in lipstick and kisses and his clothes all disheveled.
I wish that was the reason I left.
That was not the reason.
That would have been great.
Welcome, Matt. How you doing, man?
Thanks for coming by. Doing okay. Let's keep rocking this show. And there's so many more things we got to talk about. There's Star Trek world. Are we ready to do Terry Trek?
Yes, we are. Let me load that up. Oh, we're going full out, huh? Okay. All right.
Got it. We have to.
All right.
We have to.
Here we go. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
The weekly. I fucked it up again.
Is it? Do you not have the whole thing in there? You got to do the weekly Terry.
This is what's happening. I keep thinking that there is a voice there, but there's not.
There's not. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let me do it again.
By the way, thank you for all the well wishes from you guys. Everything is okay. Emergency averted, and now we're ready to get back into it. Thank you.
Yeah. It was a serious emergency. All right. Here we go. The Weekly Terry.
I think that gets longer and longer every week. Like at some point, you're going to be like, "How long can I do this in one breath?" Welcome to the Weekly Terry, where we're going to talk Picard season 3. And today we have something really, really, really important to talk to you guys, because let me just tell you guys something. Star Trek Picard season 3 is now or never. Okay.
Now or never.
We know you haven't seen it yet.
No, you haven't.
We've had the luxury. You have not. And everything is based on faith.
Yep.
Okay. Like religion, which is a completely faith-based thing. We require faith for Picard season 3.
Yes. Drink the Kool-Aid.
This is what we'll tell you.
Let's stop.
The future of Star Trek is not good. Let's put it that way. The future outlook of Star Trek, as it's currently traveling, is not good for longtime legacy fans. Legacy fans who want Star Trek made by people who love Star Trek, people who understand Star Trek, who want to make Star Trek and not go, what would be great is like, how about if we did like Star Trek that's like, I don't know, what's another TV show that's really popular? CW Star Trek. Or,
yeah.
SVU,
what Law and Order.
Yeah, let's do SVU Star Trek. So what we have right now is a bunch of people who that's kind of the way they think. Like, let's make Star Trek like CSI, or let's make Star Trek like this show over here. They don't say, let's just make Star Trek, right? Let's make good Star Trek. Let's go back and look at what makes Star Trek great, and let's go forward making Star Trek great in the future. There is nobody doing that except Terry Matalas.
And if you want proof, the first Picard was pretty much Logan in Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
And then
not even good though. Not good.
Yeah, it wasn't good though. Then you got, and no offense to Lower Decks, I like it, but it's pretty much Rick and Morty. It's like someone goes, "What if we did Star Trek but like Rick and Morty?" And we'll get the same animators and the same voice actors. And I like Lower Decks. Not talking. It is not Rick and Morty. But I know someone at that studio was like, "What if we did Star Trek Rick and Morty? Adult Rick and Morty?"
You've nailed it, Brian. That is exactly the way shows are being pitched, because the idea of being creative and like coming up with a novel idea yourself and doing something, it's all about stealing from someone else at this point. Okay.
Well, because they have to. So they go into a pitch meeting. They go, "I have to pitch this to this executive, this writer, or this whatever runner." They got to pitch something, and they know the executive is not actually a fan of Star Trek, and they only care about what is popular. So they go, "Okay, guys, check us out. Star Trek meets Yellowstone."
Right. Yes.
That's what they do. True. Super Chat from Marvel Nation. Nobody spikes the Kool-Aid better than Brian Shane.
That is true. Thank you.
Very true.
Drink that Kool-Aid, guys. Drink it.
And the proof we need for Terry is 12 Monkeys. Easy peasy. All Terry. All day.
Yes. Thank you, Orville Nation. It's true. If you go back and look at his other stuff, and it'll tell you that he makes good shows. But more importantly about Terry, and I know we've said this lots of times, and I'm not trying to do anything to you, but he loves Star Trek like we love Star Trek, like I do, like Brian does, like you guys do. He loves it like that. He really watches it. He obsesses about Star Trek the way we do. Okay, so he's the right guy to make Star Trek. Now, here's the thing. Going forward, can't really say anything about it, but we have a view of where Star Trek is going to go after Picard season 3. Like, we have some information that would indicate that it's going to go to a place that we don't want it to go.
Right.
As of right this moment, about a month before Picard season 3 airs, the powers that be have a vision of what Star Trek is going, and it's not going any place that we're going to love it, that we're going to like it. It's going to be more of kind of what we've got now.
Right.
Okay. The only thing that's going to change it is Picard season 3 to come out, and the fan base goes ape shit gaga over it,
right,
and loves it. If they go, "Oh my God, this," if the studio gets shook by people going, "This is the best Star Trek that's happened since Voyager," if that's what happens to the fan base, and they see all of a sudden that people love it and great things are happening, then they're going to allow Terry to make more.
Right.
If they don't get that, there's a really good chance they're not going to let him make any more.
Right. And it's going to be another, "Hey, what about Star Trek meets?"
Yes.
Insert random true. CW garbage show here.
Right. Insert random memberberry time frame. What can we do here? Because the people making Star Trek don't really understand Star Trek.
Like they do. They like Khan, right? If they like Khan, let's do Khan.
Except well, yeah. So they're like people who've never seen it and go, "Well, that was popular." Right. So let's kind of do that. Right. But then they're missing the heart and soul of what Star Trek is. Like Prodigy kind of got it.
Yeah.
Like the people doing the cartoons. So that's cool.
But I would argue maybe they got it because they had a lot less. They didn't really have oversight. Right.
Yeah. That has a lot to do. Well, they didn't have oversight. Well, none of them have oversight.
That's true.
It's not about oversight. It's about Michelle Paradise being in charge of Discovery, and Michelle Paradise isn't a Star Trek fan. I'm sorry, Michelle. You can tell us you're all Star Trek fans, but you're not. If you go back, you're not a sci-fi person. You're not a big Star Trek fan. So you made Discovery in the way that you think Star Trek should be made.
Right.
Like an idealistic version of what you think people would like in Star Trek. But the problem is if you don't love it, if you don't feel it, you can't make it. Right? Like it's like an alien trying to understand Earth. They can see how we operate, but they don't understand it.
Right.
You got to come from the inside. And so everybody who created great Star Trek came from the inside. Think about the people from TOS, Gene coming into TNG, bringing in a bunch of people, sharing his vision, those people buying into his vision, continuing that vision, and then the people in TNG working on Voyager, DS9, Enterprise. Okay, for those of you still not mad at it anymore, the legacy, the chain of legacy continues. Well, guess what? Terry Matalas comes from that chain of legacy.
He does, yeah.
He comes from the Voyager Enterprise group.
Right. Who else
we
does?
need to continue the chain of legacy. There are other people who made Star Trek back then, but they're not anywhere near Paramount doing this stuff right now.
Right. Then that is key. Nothing else has that era, has that thing, those fingerprints of the Behrman era show series is doing any new Star Trek right now except for Terry Matalas.
Right. And so you haven't seen it, and we're asking you to take a huge leap of faith.
Sure.
We just want you to be prepared. There's nothing you can do about it right now. Until the show airs, all there is conjecture. It's when the show airs. If people are talking about it well, and all of a sudden all the news sites start talking about it well, and you get this kind of, you can sense the fervor happening and going, oh, this is good Star Trek. And all of a sudden you're going to start seeing headlines, this is the best Star Trek we've had since such and such, right? You're going to start seeing that stuff. Now, if we see that, the fans rally behind it, that's the only opportunity we have. Okay, someone has to catch the powers that be, Alex Kurtzman's attention, the studio head's attention, and say, this is the direction we need to take Star Trek in.
Right.
This is our only opportunity, guys. This is a one-time shot. Because if it doesn't happen, I have a feeling that we're going to have years and years and years of tepid, lukewarm Star Trek that none of us are going to be happy about.
Yeah, and they might not even continue it in the future. It'll probably just be in some random time frame. It'll be in some random time frame. Yeah.
Well, or some characters. It's just the heart of Star Trek. Thank you for the super chat here from Orville Nation, $5. Prodigy gets it because it's very outsourced. The Hagman brothers get it. That's it. Like, somebody who loves it needs to get it. And they're doing a great job. We've talked about the fact that they're using Janeway's voice. I mean, that's a huge part of it. You need someone to uphold the ideals of the Federation and to bring forth hope for the future.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Sorry to interject, but we were talking about this earlier. The Kobayashi Maru episode where they used Spock's voice from the TOS era, and they didn't have him playing a character that's out of character. They had aside from being animated, it felt like I was seeing Spock again. And then even up to the very end, the message he gives him at the end of that episode is like just such a Spock thing. They really did understand that character. I felt like I was watching Spock. It wasn't just a memory berry. It was part of the series. It was part of the show.
Well, they used his literal, lines from TOS to interact with it. So it felt very natural. You could even hear the hollow, tinny audio, change when you're watching Prodigy. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's definitely old audio. Right. And now granted, you can't do that with today's things. And you're going to have characters that are new and different. And you're going to want to have some of these crossovers. I mean, look, when Spock went on to TNG, right? When Leonard Nimoy went on to TNG and you had the Romulan, they tried to forge the Romulan, peace deal, right? With Romulans and Vulcans coming back together again. And then Spock headed that up, old man Spock. I mean, that was great.
Right.
Right. That was fantastic. We ate that up when Scotty came on and got trapped up in the in the transporter for all those years.
Oh, the Dyson Sphere episode. One of my favorite episodes, man.
Great episode when Dr. McCoy is walking the halls of the new Enterprise and judging it. And, there's a place and a feeling for that. That's so critical.
Mm-hmm.
But what's happening with Star Trek now is there's this immersion in that feeling. There's an overdone of that. It should be treated like a spice, like a salt with a little bit of it. So ideally they need to move into the future with characters that we know and love. And what they need to do is stop dragging us back into the past. We need to move forward. Star Trek needs to happen in the future.
Right. Not
too far into the future, but it needs to continue on its path.
Yeah, let's be clear. We did not mean 900 years into the future.
Right.
Let's avoid that altogether. Let's pretend that when they went into the future, they split, they made a branch timeline like that, like Jaborgi did. And now they're in their own little time frame and they're not part of what's going on here. Because I don't want to know the future. I don't want to know what happens in 900 years. I just don't. You know what I mean? I don't.
Right. Super chat from Joe, the Joe Cronin Show.
Joe Cronin.
$10. Thank you, Joe. Let's go. He's back. I want those 2 first Picard episodes up free on YouTube in January. Paramount, come on. Kind of to get the juices going, right? I don't think Paramount's going to do it, but I love that idea, Joe.
I looked it up, and they did put the first episode of both the first and second season on YouTube.
I mean, I hope they do it, but I just have this feeling that, I mean, if they did it for the second season, I guess they might do it again. So that would be cool.
You might get the first episode, not the first 2.
I mean, why not? There's a lot of people who checked out. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, actually, because there's so many people who've checked out of Star Trek, and they got to be aware of it.
Right.
You toss it up on YouTube, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a new Paramount Plus subscription coming into Picard season 3. So It could happen, Joe. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Joe, that super chat should have gone to the IRS.
What?
Joe was telling us how he's extraordinarily in debt to the IRS or something like that. He was like, a tall building might be in my future. I'm like, no, Joe, don't do it.
Oh, very cool. Well, I'm glad that.
I caught his show, by the way. Joe's show is nice. It's a good show. It's all
awesome.
about WWF stuff and all that.
Well, go check it out if you like some wrestling. Go check out Joe. There is the Republicans are voting on abolishing the IRS. That did come out today. So if you're interested in that, they want to abolish the IRS. No more income tax. Federal. That's not going to pass, by the way. But
I mean, but wouldn't it be nice?
Well, yeah. We just have to figure out how else we're going to pay everybody.
I have a question here, and I'm sorry. I'm in no way am I getting political here, okay? But in this like recession where everyone is stressed out about money and everyone's firing everyone, right? How are we hiring more IRS agents?
Well, because the Democrats knew that they were going to need a whole bunch of money to pay for this, and so they hired them to go get that money. That's why.
I mean, we don't have any money. Hire 70,000 new agents. Like, what?
I'll tell you what, we'll talk about it in the member section. Let's keep going with Terry.
All right. Maria, sing me a song. Your fabulous super chat.
Oh, thank you for the super chat, Maria. I got to tell you, Maria put out a tweet yesterday that got everybody's attention.
Oh yeah. Jeez, Maria.
Yeah. So Maria, obviously a beautiful woman, posted up a picture that made everybody get a little hot under the collar. So thank you for that, Maria. We appreciate it. But go check out Maria as well. If you check out Joe, make sure you check out Maria. Good YouTubers. And I think I said earlier
when I saw it on my feed, I was like, what OnlyFans account am I following?
Don't put Maria in that corner. Don't do that.
I'm kidding. You're gorgeous, Maria.
Anyways, let's go back to Metalis here. So this is the weekly Terry. So we're talking Picard season 3. A couple things coming. So we do know that there's going to be a trailer coming out, and Terry has confirmed this. Somebody here on Twitter said, at Terry Metalis, we are getting close to the premiere of Star Trek Picard, and I gotta know, will there be a final trailer to wet our whistles before the premiere? Make it so. And Terry responded with the word yes.
Yes.
Now, we are pretty sure that trailer is going to drop in succession with NFL playoffs coming up.
Yeah, I talked about this a little bit when you were gone.
Uh-huh.
And based on what we know about trailers, just general knowledge, I do believe it could be as early as next Thursday or as late as the following Tuesday.
I think it's going to be later than that. I know we have that thought process because in one of the articles, it talks about how there's a couple of events occurring, which would be ideal for them to put it out. And based on the way it's done previously, and I don't know if it's this article or it's another one we have linked here, which I'll get to it in just a second. Let's see if we have it here. Now that I have moved everything around, I got to go find my links again.
It's okay.
But essentially there's an event coming up where they could drop the trailer. And I want to say it's going to be it could be either next Monday, right? Is what they were saying.
Okay.
Or they're going to hold it all the way to the 29th, which lines up more with what I've heard. Okay.
Okay. Can you explain why it would be on the 29th? That's so late in the game.
It's not really. That's a little over 2 weeks before the show airs. The 29th is Sunday, and it's a huge playoff weekend for the NFL. Huge, big games. It'll be the championship games before they go to the Super Bowl.
There's a lot of crossover with the NFL and Star Trek?
When the NFL has 30 to 50 million people watching, It doesn't matter if you cross over.
I mean, in that case, they might as well just buy a Super Bowl ad then.
No, because those are a lot more expensive than NFC, AFC championship games.
Okay,
it's like 4 times the money.
Yeah. I heard it was like $1 million a minute or something like that.
It was, yeah. It used to be. I don't know what it is this year, but at one point it was that.
Imagine it costing $1 million a minute. Hey, Raid Shadow Legends. Next time you come up with those weak proposals, remember $1 million a minute. Okay.
Well, GoDaddy created an entire business out of it.
Oh yeah, they did. They did. Yeah.
So,
yeah. GoDaddy is the reason why it's $1 million a minute.
Right. So, anyways, it will be coming out later on, and Terry confirmed that there will be another trailer. We will tell you that trailer is going to give you new insight on new things, on a couple new things. So you'll want to see it. Just
to specify here, because this is very, very important to me. You think it might be the 29th because that's when the playoffs happen between the two teams that are going to be one of the two teams that are heading to the Super Bowl the following couple weeks, right?
And it doesn't come from me. That's from industry sources that say that they think that's when it's going to come out, and not even it's published. So this isn't insider information. It's coming from people who are used to knowing when these things drop, and that's what they're saying. It'll either be at this event, and let me see if it's
what here. What is that called? Is that called the Rose Bowl?
No, that's for college.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is NFL. This would be the NFC or AFC championship.
I know nothing about football or sports. But so is that a nationally televised event though?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's actually
it'll have more people watching that than almost anything else besides the Super Bowl.
So I did research a few months ago on trailer drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And generally speaking, and when I say generally, more than 50% of the time, trailers are dropped on either a Tuesday or a Thursday, and it's pretty much split between those two, with Tuesday being the most popular by a hair. But what changes those drops are special events, aka Super Bowl, Comic-Con, premieres for big shows that are coming back after. There are certain events that completely supersede that. And those are outliers in my data, and so I didn't even include them in my data because it's entirely possible you're right here.
Well, we heard from a pretty reliable source that the trailer would be happening at the end of January, and that does line up with when I'm hearing about this 29th of January. That does seem to line up with what we've been told.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I'm kind of just leaning that way now. If it happened next Monday, that's possible because there is an event, some sort of Paramount event where they could drop it next Monday. It's potentially possible.
Right. And what's funny is next Monday is exactly 30 days, which is usually the last, when it comes to TV trailers, the very final trailer is dropped in that 30-day mark, and that would put it right there. That's why I said earlier it could be as early as next Monday or as late as the 23rd or 24th, but I guess technically it could be also as late as the 29th now if you include that game.
The reasoning wasn't 30 days. The reasoning was a specific Paramount event, something that's happening on that day.
No, I recognize that, but also according to the stats, 30 days is usually when that final trailer is dropped before a TV show.
It makes sense. It gives people enough time to get excited about it. Yeah, That's true. But they're not going to reach as many eyeballs. It's better to wait for a football game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. And that event is on the 16th, huh?
The event is on the 29th. Oh, the event for Paramount?
Yeah.
Is on the 16th. I'll have to pull it up again. I was reading through something. I can't remember what it was called. It's like a TM event or some sort of, I don't remember what it was. Yeah. It's possible it could drop Monday. It's possible.
Yeah. All right.
But we were told by somebody on the inside that it is at the end of the month. So
let's hope it doesn't drop Monday. Let's hope instead, for the series' sake, that it drops when the most amount of people are watching TV at that specific time.
Yes, because, prime example reason why this has to happen this way. And I pray to God that Paramount, the marketing can screw things up so bad. If you think about it, there's so many people like not in the loop who aren't like watching YouTube channels and like staying up with like what's going on with Picard and TNG, what's going on with Star Trek. There's a lot of people out there just not watching Star Trek in general who are TNG fans growing up, but aren't like locked in right now. They're going to be watching football. They're going to see Picard season 3 come on and go, holy crap, they're bringing back everybody from the original series.
Right.
And that's going to go ding, ding, ding. And that's going to make them go check it out probably. So it's just wise to get it in front of as many eyes as possible.
It'd be better if it was on the 29th then. Okay. All right. So that's hey, let's hope for the 29th. Although remember the first announcement came in the middle of Picard season 2. And it was funny at first. We're like, why would they do that? And then we found out that like they just didn't care about season 2.
Yeah, well, it was that, and I think they were afraid that the information was going to come out anyways, right?
Right. They just weren't.
They wanted to control
themselves.
The release,
right? Yeah, it's
they
almost
wanted
like
to control the release. Yeah,
they weren't concerning themselves with season 2. They were like, let's just get it out there on our terms, right?
Yeah, they wanted. Yeah, exactly. They were afraid it would come out and they wouldn't be able to control when it was released, and I think that was a problem because it could have been used. But then again, I also think that now looking back on it, since we're going to be watching it like a year later, basically, it may not have been that much to show us inside Picard season 2, especially since the seasons don't touch each other.
Right.
Like they're not connected, right? You don't need to watch Picard season 2 to watch Picard season 3. So maybe it wouldn't have been a good idea to have him show up.
Right.
Because now that gives people even more of an argument that, that crappy Picard season 2 is now connected to our precious, beautiful Picard season 3.
Yeah, that's good point. That's a really good point.
So that's why another reason why Terry Matalas is so damn smart. Okay, I'm just saying.
Smart guy.
Okay, so let's go on to this other part here. It says Star Trek Picard season 3, Stewart talks Beverly's thrilling surprise, and the showrunner teases the final trailer. Okay, so this is the one where it talks about that. But it looks like Patrick Stewart's been out there talking about stuff going on in Picard season 3, so we don't want to leave you guys off. Patrick Stewart talks about him getting the message. So we did get that little teaser that came out where it showed him getting the message from his old communicator. And Patrick Stewart spoke on that. And what he said was that Picard, he felt abandoned by Crusher. That's not something we knew before. He felt abandoned by Crusher. She just disappeared out of his life. Now, the last time we saw him was on Nemesis, and she hadn't disappeared from anywhere.
No.
So this is new information. He felt abandoned by her. She just disappeared out of his life. He adored her, and that was never resolved. So they did not have a resolution. But she has a surprise when she appears that thrills and then enrages him. Come on, Jean-Luc. Come on, Jean-Luc.
Come on, Jean-Luc.
Why don't you just say it, dog? Why don't you just say it?
She has a surprise that thrills.
What sort of surprise could she have that will thrill him and enrage him?
What surprise could that be?
Go back and look at one of our previous videos. That's all we're gonna say.
Just go to the Popcast Prime channel and look at the last Picard video. It's pretty simple.
It's not the last one, but
it's not okay. Well, it's the one that has
a shadow on
the silhouette of a man on it. You'll see it real quick.
Yeah. That's all we'll say.
That's why.
If you want to know why he's talking about that, then you can go ahead and look there.
Yeah, someone was arguing with me in the comment section of that video, like, you guys are dumb. No way it could be a son, okay? It has to be. I'm like, all right, guy. Whatever. Like, I'm not going to argue with you.
Right. It has been previously revealed the season will start with an attack on the SS Elios, a medical ship with Dr. Beverly Crusher on board. After receiving a distress call from Crusher, shown in that clip, Jean-Luc Picard seeks out the help of William Riker to rescue her. And then we're off to the races.
Number one.
Stewart, right. Stewart also talked about how things have changed with Worf. The change to his personality is one of the most delightful things this season. He becomes increasingly complex, where in Next Generation, you always knew what gruff response you'd get from him. This is like nail on the head here.
Yeah.
Worf is one of the most interesting characters. I would say Worf and Riker are the two most interesting characters as far as the depth that we go into with them. You get to see things you didn't really understand before about them necessarily.
Yeah.
And it really adds to the character. And he just basically laid that out to say, you know, you're going to love that. And I think you're going to love it too. I love what I would call this to be like peak Worf. Like,
yeah,
the peak of the character.
Okay, so Worf has always been one of my favorite characters. In fact, I'm gonna be real honest. The only reason I even watched DS9 originally was because of Worf. I didn't start watching it at the beginning. I was like, oh, Worf is on it? Okay, now I'll watch it. I love Worf. I don't necessarily love all the Klingons, but I love Worf. Some of the Klingons are like sort of cheesy and cartoony, and they don't work for me. But overall, Worf is one of my.
You don't love Gowron? What?
No, I love Gowron for the glory of the Empire. I can't even make my eyes that big. For the glory of the, I can't.
I kind of like Gowron actually.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
It's his brother. I can't stand Worf's brother. Played by the famous Candyman.
Such a d-bag. Yeah, Tony Todd.
Yes.
Anyways, I love Worf. And when we saw it, I was worried. Are they going to mess? Is my precious Worf going to be diminished in my eyes? Because my favorite characters are pretty much Worf and I would say Worf and toss up between Geordi and Data, right?
Yes.
My favorite characters to look at was always, Beverly and Crusher. I'm sorry, Beverly and Troy. But my favorite characters to watch interact was Worf and Data and Geordi. When I saw this, it made the character even better. I loved what they did with the character. It felt like a natural progression. It worked. The old Worf was there, and there was new parts to his character that made so much sense, and it was so gosh darn entertaining, man. He was so amazing in this.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. So some more information. I've actually found that thing that talked about the trailer.
Good.
So it says here that there's a Television Critics Association event taking place this Monday. And there they could release a new trailer and possibly new images. They could, not necessarily. There's no other upcoming conventions or events that would allow that to happen in January, except for the NFL AFC Championship game, which streams on Paramount Plus, key, and airs on CBS. That would be the time to do it. Yeah. And that would line up with what we've been told.
Yeah. With that information, with what you just said, if I was a betting man, I would bet on the 29th.
It feels like that's what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. So that is pretty much all the information we have for you guys today for Terry Trek.
Wait, real quick though.
Terry Trek.
I'm sorry. There was some characters also teased by Terry.
Oh, I missed those. Where's that at?
Yeah. It said
Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Yeah, there you go.
It's okay.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, it said Terry Matalas teases more characters returns from TNG and adjacent shows. Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard won't be the only famous Star Trek character returning from Picard Season 3 on Paramount Plus, obviously. Fans have long known that Picard will be joined with the entire main cast of TNG, but it now appears that even more long-awaited Star Trek character returns are in the cards for Picard Season 3, as showrunner Matalas revealed at this week's TCA 23 panel via Trek Central. Damn it, Trek Central. Fans can expect to see a few new next-gen adjacent characters popping up in the final season. Next-gen adjacent, of course, means the other two shows that took place during the TNG era, Deep Space Nine and Voyager.
Well, I mean, we kind of knew that, but yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that he put it out there.
I know, but now we can reveal this information. Shane.
But he's already said, he's already said this. Now, this is not new news. He said this at the New York convention when they asked the questions. He said, are we going to see people from DS9? Are we going to see people from here? He goes, probably, or something like that. He said something that was an affirmative, and we've been reporting on it since then.
But I feel like this is more conclusive.
I mean, I guess it's completely conclusive, but we've also been saying this for the last month and a half.
Okay, that's true.
So yeah, so guys, you might see some people from DS9 or Voyager.
No, you will see some people from DS9 and Voyager.
That's not necessarily true.
That's what he said.
Okay, well, let's see. It remains to be seen what other random adjacent characters. I said you may see some from DS9 or Voyager.
Whoopsie.
So you will see one from one or the other for sure, but there may not be any from one, or may not be much from one.
Does that make sense? I can't wait for the show to air and we can just be like, "See, guys, this is what we're talking about."
No, what I'm trying to say is like there are more from one show than from another.
Yes, that's
what I'm trying to say.
That's true.
Okay,
that's true.
I was trying to get to that whole. Honestly, there's more TNG characters unexpected, I think, in this show than even side shows.
Oh yeah.
That's really where
I know what you're talking. I know what you're thinking right now in your brain, and that one's like
the bread and butter is really the depth that goes into TNG.
It really does. It's a continuation of TNG. It's TNG after 30 years. It's what it is. It's what it is. It's not a continuation. You know what? It's not a continuation of Picard seasons 1 and 2. It's a continuation of TNG. And they only reference that because they have to.
It's a continuation, honestly, of Nemesis.
Right.
If we want to be honest.
Yep.
Because here's the deal. All good things happened at the end of TNG, right? We had that episode, the time travel, where we got to see kind of like what a quasi future would look like, right? But then Nemesis happened after that. And that gave us the reality of where TNG was at that point.
Right.
So this is a continuation of Nemesis, and Nemesis was hugely disappointing. So this is not. That's it.
So here's a little spoiler for you. Is Harry Kim still an ensign? Yes.
Harry Kim will always be an ensign. Just ask him at any convention.
As far as we know, Harry Kim is still an ensign.
Right. All right. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We've got 4 more weeks to talk Picard season 3 before it actually happens. And you're going to want to be here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we are going to be the #1 Picard season 3 channel on all of YouTube. I promise you, we're going to have information nobody else is going to have. Make sure you guys come back here to hang out with us.
Yeah, we are making moves. We've been making moves for 6 or 7 months now. We're making sure that we are going to have this giant slate set up. So when we are so excited about Picard season 3 and we think the reception is going to be so stellar that we are pushing everything else we normally do during that time, and we're going to almost solely focus on Picard season 3. And we have people in place that we've made deals with to actually get the information we need and get everything, get all the videos and live stuff all situated. It's going to be a really wonderful thing. You don't want to. I wish I could say more, but I can't. You don't want to miss it. So please subscribe, and hit the comment section and let us know what you guys think of this video.
All right.
And whenever we finish, you're like, All right.
All right. I mean, I don't have much. You
Don't
know,
know
you like
what-
you really have this whirlwind of an end, and I'm like, I'm here too. Yeah,
Like-
yeah. It's good.
Hi.
I
Hello.
need to come up with like a something like that.
Hey, I just saw your message, PJ. I appreciate that, bro. I'll save that number. Yeah, you do this.
Yeah, that's got to be like, will you do it? And I'll be like, shh. There it is.
All right, man. What's next? Oh, Section 31 update.
Well, I figured it's better if we just like block in all the stuff together.
Yeah,
You know?
let's get them all at one time. You might want to do the weekly Doomcock once Picard airs. That's actually not a bad idea.
The weekly Doomcock, like what does he talk about, right? Alex Kurtzman is fired and Terry Metalis has gone with him.
Alex Kurtzman is dead. Sources tell me. Wait, what?
How many times was Kathleen Kennedy fired over the course of like 3 years of him talking about it?
12 times or something like that. All right. You guys ready?
I am ready.
We are talking about Star Trek Section 31. The spinoff no one asked for is finally getting an update. Some traction. Some play. This is perhaps the moment. Right here.
No,
Right before the announcement, when we say we're getting Section 31.
No, don't say it. Please don't. Don't do it. Don't do it to them. Listen, if you came and clicked on this video, we're going to do something for you that you're going to appreciate, but do not get your hopes up that Section 31 is actually going to happen yet, because unfortunately, the person who gave the information, while extraordinarily credible and definitely on the inside, this has been said before.
Yeah, you
This
know
has
what's
been
funny?
said by Kurtzman himself.
I only did that long intro because I knew that you would be like, no, stop.
Stop clickbaiting me. No, the reality is that from the inside of Paramount, they keep saying that Section 31 is still in development. They keep saying it like it's still in development. It's still happening.
Even though Michelle Yeoh's contract ended last October.
Yeah, well, that's one thing. Now they can get her back. I mean, listen, Michelle Yeoh was just won the award for best actress in a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and she did. Guys, you guys know that Michelle Yeoh is 60 years old.
Oh,
That is a 60-year-old woman right there. I can't even believe it. She does not look 60.
She's officially in my hashtag Green Grannies.
She can't
mental
be considered a
Rolodex.
granny for you. She's not old enough.
No, she's not. But because of her age, I'm giving her an honorary position in the hashtag Green Granny Rolodex.
I got it. But she would be more like a mom.
Plus, she's
For you.
also very attractive and an amazing actress.
Okay, that's true. I'll give you I'll definitely give you the amazing actress part of it. In fact, I would argue that Michelle Yeoh was the only good thing, one of two good things that came out of Star Trek Discovery, her and Captain Pike. Michelle Yeoh, right until she finished on Discovery in season 3, was the best character on the show by far. If there was going to be a Section 31, which, most of us don't want it.
No.
I would be okay. I would definitely want her to be a part of it because she's amazing. But that said, they haven't made a decision on what they're going to do. They keep saying it's still in production because they haven't pulled the trigger. You got to remember, they can only have 4 Star Trek shows on at a time. Okay. Each Star Trek show runs for 5 Star Trek shows on at a time. So right now we have Strange New Worlds, Picard, Discovery, Lower Decks, and Prodigy. They each get 10 episodes, right? That's 50 weeks. There are 52 weeks in a year. This is why we're not going to have 6 Star Trek shows, because they don't want them overlapping.
Right.
So we're going to have 5. Now we've got 4 that are still cooking, right? This is Picard's final season so far, right? Did we have the article in here that talks about
Yeah.
this isn't the last one?
Yeah. It wasn't in the main run of show, but it was right above it. The one where Alex Kurtzman said, "It could be more."
I missed it. So we should definitely talk about that here, I think now, a little bit, if you've got that we should probably talk about it. But here's the thing. They're only going to have 5 shows. And when Picard ends, they have to make a decision. Now, Kurtzman just came out and said with Stewart, I think Patrick Stewart, right? He said they were on there and he said, well, there could be more Picard continuing past season 3.
Alex Kurtzman says Star Trek Picard could continue beyond season 3.
Okay.
No, actually it can't, but okay.
Well, it can. It totally can. And it should. I would argue it should.
But it wouldn't be Star Trek Picard.
You wouldn't call it Star Trek Picard. You would need to call it something else. But could the events of Star Trek Picard season 3 continue? And should they? Absolutely. You need to want that. You'll want that more than Section 31 or more than any other show that they can possibly come up with. So what does Kurtzman say about it here before we get into the Section 31 stuff? Because I think this is critical. I didn't get a chance to look over this completely.
Right. But we talked about it a little bit while you were gone, but I'll say it again. What he said was, when we started the series, Patrick Stewart and we all talked about really wanting it to be just 3 years. I'm assuming that's what Alex Kurtzman sounds like, but I don't know.
But that was awful. Please stop.
Feeling like we can really tell a complete story with the season we're now seeing as our endpoint. That being said, anything is possible. If a show blows the doors off the place, as we're certainly hoping it will, and we're very proud of season 3, who knows?
That's it. That's it. I wish we would have read that damn thing during the Weekly Terry. That is confirmation. Confirmation that if Picard season 3 is good, they will make more. He just gave us an out.
Right.
Okay.
He even said there is still enormous potential for a narrative in what we've been doing, and there are doors left open still. We didn't close all of them.
Okay, so this is great that he did that, because I'll tell you right now, in the back end, they're already working on other stuff beyond Section 31, stuff we can't talk to you about. They're working on other things that are not a continuation of this show.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about it yet.
Okay, can't talk about it, but it is there. And here's the problem is, if Section 31 is still in production, there can only be 5 shows, guys.
Right.
Okay. So what they're saying is Section 31 is still in production because they haven't made a decision. They're waiting for Picard season 3 to happen so they can decide what to do next.
Right. So it's still in production, so they can keep Yo on her contract, more than likely.
On contract. Yeah.
Right. So they keep her on her contract. We'll keep it in production, and it looks like Section 31 is like the show they're going to pull out and do if they don't have something better to do after Picard.
Yeah. And here's the thing, guys. Do you want another Discovery show running around out there? As great as Michelle Yeoh is, okay, okay, do we want another Section 31 show? Do we want Discovery? Do we want more Discovery? Because that's what's going to happen with Section 31.
No.
Right. Or do we want more continuation of the current where we're at in Trek, where Picard is, and continuing on?
Yes, please.
That's what we want. So what we need to do is, when it comes out, I understand you guys haven't seen it yet. When it comes out, everybody get loud. If you like it, please say you like it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll probably do some sort of a thing for that to get people's voices all heard and together at some point.
Yeah.
Let's see. Orville Nation, $2 super chat. Frakes even hinted at more TNG. Okay, so Jonathan doesn't really know anything more than we know at this point, frankly speaking, but he knows, just as everybody else does, that if this thing does go well, then this can keep going.
Yeah.
We
as
just
Kurtzman
have
said,
to want it.
The doors are left open.
And Kurtzman said it himself.
Right.
So that's an admission that if we like Picard season 3, we can continue the story with the new characters. Remember we talked about a salt, a little bit of the older characters continuing on our old TNG. Maybe we get a little bit of Geordi, a little bit of this as the show goes forward in the present timeline, but not centered around those characters, moving on with our new characters. Yeah. Right.
The last poster that came out says it all. This is the final season of Picard.
Right.
But Alex Kurtzman just said, but they left it open. No. So what does that mean? If it's the final season of Picard, but they left it open for that future, that timeline to continue with a different or a new show.
Right. And so just to be very clear, it wasn't Alex Kurtzman saying that Section 31 is still in production. He has said it in the past. This time it was Paramount Streaming Chief Programming Officer Tanya Giles, or Giles, however you said that. And she assured TV Line that the show is still in development. However, they don't really know anything about it.
Can I spin something out there real quick?
Yeah, do it.
I would be down for a Section 31 if it took place after the events of Picard season 3, and Harry Kim was the director of Section 31.
You lost me. Sorry.
And you know
now
what?
You turned it into a joke.
And no joke. He still has the ensign pip because in Section 31 they don't have rank.
Stop
They
it.
don't have rank in Section 31.
You're writing your own headcanon. Knock it off.
Look, I'm just saying. No jokes. Jokes aside, I would be okay with a Section 31 if it took place after the events of Picard season 3 in the same contemporary
but
time.
Not at the cost of forwarding the characters that were being developed for season 3.
Yes, knowing what we know now, not at the cost of that. Right.
Yeah. I mean, if somehow they were like, it'd be kind of wild is if they mushed it all together. Like if they did like a show, didn't call it maybe Section 31, but you had Michelle Yeoh in it because she can essentially time travel and go wherever she wants.
Right. Which is wild.
I guess you could have her pop out somewhere in that time frame and be a part of it. That would might make it interesting, but you guys will see when you get to the end of Picard season 3, you're going to be going, oh yeah, no, we need to keep going from here, and you'll see what we mean.
Yeah, Archmage. That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. They can treat it like an Agents of Shields type thing, where every season can be like a totally another cool sci-fi trope. That's what
originally that's what Brian Fuller wanted to do.
Really?
So Brian Fuller's original idea was to treat Star Trek, the new Star Trek, like American Horror Story, where every season was a new type of Star Trek.
Right, but with the same characters.
I don't know if it was the same character.
Yeah, you see, you're talking about like an anthology type thing. I actually despise that.
Oh, okay.
I despise that because I don't like having to get introduced to new characters every season for the same show. Dude,
okay.
The Bad Detective or whatever show, other shows do that too, and I hate it. If I like one season, that's it. I'm not going to get any more of those characters.
That's what Brian Fuller wanted to do.
Well, that's a bad idea. Thank God he's not part of it.
Well, here's what the studio told him. They told him, okay, sounds interesting. American Horror Story is doing really well, but let's go ahead and do this Discovery thing you want to do first, and then we'll see what happens. Well, it all fell apart, obviously, after that.
Well, what's funny is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other shows, but I'm referencing this because it's fresh in my mind. They were able to do a hybrid of that where you have the same characters, the same chemistry, the same interactions that you love already, but because of sci-fi things, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Every season they were able to sort of change the entire style of the show. It could be like one season it was like a Matrix type thing. One season it was space exploration. One was time travel. One was in the 50s, like the Prohibition. And they can really play around with every season being a completely different sci-fi style of show, but with the same characters.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like taking one episode and expanding it into an entire season. So taking an episode where something happens and now that's an entire season. They really wanted to do that on Voyager with the Year of Hell. With the episode, The Year of Hell, they wanted to stretch that out into make it an entire season. And Berman wouldn't let him do that. But
what's interesting is that's one of my favorite episodes.
It's a great episode.
I would watch an entire season of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all would have. I mean, looking back on it, I think even Berman said, looking back on it, they probably should have done it. But at the time and where they were in the place, they just, that was not where they wanted to go.
I wonder if the Year of Hell would get old. I wonder.
I don't know.
Because it was a little downy.
I love it the way it is.
Yeah.
and it might have actually taken some of the heart out of Star. You would have had to have some sort of ending that brought the hope back, that brought the positiveness back.
Yeah.
That's the problem with doing TV shows now. And it's the reason why New Trek is struggling. We live in a pessimistic society, and the creativeness usually follows that sort of the mentality of the times. And so there isn't a lot of optimism. And so we don't have optimistic Star Trek, but Star Trek has to be optimistic to feel good.
Right.
That's why Prodigy is so great.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Prodigy is really, really good. I'm so glad you guys told us to watch it. I was sort of watching it, but I wasn't really paying attention until you wonderful people who share very similar taste to me said, watch this show. I gave it a shot. I was super surprised, very happy with it. Now, do the same for me with Picard, because we love Picard.
And a lot of you will. I know you've all said you're going to watch it. So at least give it an episode.
Yeah. Okay. Let us go.
That was an unexpected good story for Section 31.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked out, but it was great. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think. On the way there, please hit the subscribe button and all the buttons, all the little buttons, and do your thing, Shane.
My camera's such a small area.
All right. That's so funny. All right, we're going to do the HBO price hike. Let's talk about that real quick.
It's not long, by the way. This is just a little mention.
Yeah, a little mention. We want to talk about this real quick. Not a big deal. Right? We're not going to re-record this, but it's definitely worth talking about briefly. So, HBO Max has apparently announced its very first price hike effective immediately. One thing I hate about this is that, I feel like when I sign up for a service, a phone, a car payment, insurance, I sign a contract to pay you this much money per month for this thing. I do not like that they can just unilaterally decide I'm going to now pay more for said thing.
Well, it's been happening for years. I remember getting my phone bill and agreeing to $49.99 a month for my phone bill. And then 6 months later, I'm paying, $62. And I'm like, what the heck happened? Oh, well, they get this little price bump here and this price bump here.
That was a promotional rate. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Promotional rate we didn't tell you about.
I didn't ask for a promotional rate, dude.
Or the taxes go up or whatever,
Right.
That's the way these things work. They slowly get you because you're paying every month, they got you. And here's the thing with HBO Max. I don't typically support anybody raising their prices because it sucks and everything's already so expensive enough. But HBO Max is in a place where, because Warner is poor because of all the stupid decisions they made during COVID, releasing movies on HBO at the same time as in the theater.
Right.
And all these dumb things that they decided to do. And they've lost all this money. Right. So they're in trouble.
Right.
But here's the thing about HBO Max. They have incredible shows.
Oh, yeah.
My first go is HBO Max these days.
Yeah, me too. No, HBO Max is right now my favorite all-time streaming service. And I'm not doing my own horn, but last year, at the beginning of the year, when all this started happening, no, before that, December of the year before, I was like, bro, don't be sleeping on HBO Max. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be the best thing. I mean, it really is.
Right.
Look, the price hike is actually definitely, the value is still there. I would say it's even more valuable than Netflix.
It is. Well, Netflix is great for just mindlessly watching stuff. Mm-hmm. That's completely makes nothing. If you want to watch endless baking programs and contest shows and social stupid things that most young people are watching, then Netflix is great. But HBO Max has Barry. It has all the Game of Thrones stuff. It has the House of the Dragon stuff. It's got I'm watching Curb Your Enthusiasm right now.
Avenue 5.
It's got so many great shows. And so the fact of me paying an extra $1 a month, I don't like it, but kind of that's my go-to right now. And we just kind of wanted to explain that the reason they're raising the price isn't because they're like, we need to like fleece these people for some more money. Now, I wouldn't doubt they would do that, but I think it's literally an attempt to keep the business from going under.
Right, because they are bleeding.
Yeah, and they're trying to fix it. This whole Snyder thing with Cavill if James Gunn doesn't come out of this thing swinging, they're in trouble.
I hate to keep harping on this stupid horse here, but I just wish they didn't actually have to pay Cavill right away, right? What they should have done was they should have signed him for a contract, right? I know the reason they let Cavill go is straight up because of money. And if it's any other reason, I'll eat my hat because I don't believe it is. But
if it's that Witcher BS, that's going to really not be cool.
If it's any reason other than money, I will eat my hat on this show live because they're keeping everyone else.
I'd like to see that.
So the thing is this: why not keep them on the hook? Like from a business perspective, like don't actually get rid of what you've already paid for. You already paid for cameos for like all these Aquaman and Flash. Keep doing it. You can run that clock out for a couple years and make money on all these movies you already have paid for. They're already in the can, man. They're coming out in theaters.
They couldn't do that though because he's immediately starting a Superman project.
Well, but why did he have to announce that? Why not announce that?
I mean, Henry's going to know. You can't hide it from him.
Let it play out, okay? And when they got the money, maybe they can, okay, well, maybe we have the money now. Maybe now we can pay for Cavill, or maybe we release them, but waiting for the next year of movies to come out, so fans pay. So many fans are so like, I ain't watching that garbage. I'm gonna pirate it. And you're like, wow, dude. It's just.
I think he was just put in a bad situation. Like when they realized they couldn't keep Cavill. James Gunn immediately went into, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a Superman who's working at the Daily Planet. That wouldn't have been Cavill.
Right.
Like that wouldn't have been a good role for him. So, he couldn't tell Henry like, yeah, hang in there, man. We'll see what's up. In the end, they would have screwed Cavill because he wouldn't have been able to go do other projects.
Right.
And then he'd be pissed. Then it would be a whole to do. And then it would have been like hashtag Cavill was screwed. Because, I mean, right now it's like he wasn't screwed. He was just like a little bit embarrassed because he was already out. So he was only back in.
It's pretty bad right now, though.
Yeah.
It's the worst I've seen it ever.
Don't feel sorry for Henry. He's still going to make his millions of dollars.
I don't feel sorry for Henry. I don't feel sorry for anyone. I feel like they didn't make the right choice. They didn't have to announce anything. They didn't have to actually share this information. They should have just sat on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, HBO's getting a price hike. That's what this one was about.
You're right. Sorry. Did we hijack it for Superman again?
Well, it's hard not to because we're all waiting to see what the heck's going to happen. So the fact that they're price hiking is because part of the reason they got a price hike is they can't afford to pay Cavill.
Right. They couldn't afford to pay a single actor. That's nuts.
Yeah. If they got, how many subscriptions do you think they have for HBO Max? 10 million, 20 million?
Did they release that information?
No, of course not. They're not going to. Well, guess what? They're going to make an extra 20 million a month. That's got to help. Now, gosh, that would have been easy to pay Cavill to play Superman. If they would have told me, we're going to raise your HBO Max subscription by $1 a month so we can keep Henry Cavill, I would have been all in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ready? According to HBO Max, they have reached a 70 million global subscriber count at the end of 2021.
So there you go. So at the end of 2021, that was 2 years ago. You can guess it went up by, they're probably at 100 million now, which means now they're going to make an extra 100 million a month.
Yeah.
Right. Which means they're going to make an extra $1 billion next year off of a raised dollar.
I got the exact number, 92.1 million.
Well, you said it was 100 million.
No,
70 million.
That's what I was saying, man. They're at 92.1 million right now.
Right now? Okay, so they're still going to make close to $1 billion.
Right.
So you're not going to cry for me no more, Argentina.
Yeah.
So you ain't going to get no more sympathy from us, Warner, if you're making $1 billion. get out there and make some good DC programs and get yourself out of the gutter, and let's get this thing back on track.
Yeah, honestly, if you're like, guys, we can keep Cavill, but we got to raise the rate $1. Okay.
The Cavill tax. Yorkshire Geek said
The
it. The
Cavill
Cavill. Listen, hey, Warner Brothers, we'll take a Cavill tax. Listen, James, we'll forgive you. Give Henry a call. Say, April Fools in December. Sorry. And then bring him back. And listen, let's just keep going with this.
Yeah,
thing,
you
right?
can even call it like a DC, like the DC Universe charge, like the upcharge.
Yeah, call it that.
Oh my God. All right.
Yes, and yes, true. HBO and Discovery are merging before the year's end. So which you get even more content. So
Right. All right. Wait, is that going to be all part of the HBO Max app?
yeah, it's all the same.
Dude, I'm going to save money.
You paying for Discovery right now?
I'm paying for Discovery.
I'm not paying for Discovery, so I'm just getting more content.
Bro, I'm going to save money. I'm paying for Discovery right now. How much am I paying? I don't know. It's like $10 a month, right?
Let's see. I don't know what you're paying, but right now it says here
$7 a month.
Subscribers are going to get double the content. But I'm not. Do you watch that much Discovery stuff?
My kids do, like the dinosaurs crap and the science crap.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's going to be good stuff, but I'm not really watching that much now.
Look, guys, $7 a month. So I'm actually going to save $5 a month. Come at me, bro.
That's actually a pretty good deal. So if you're already a Discovery person, you're net saving money here.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take it.
There you go.
All right, next topic. Ooh, movies. Movies. All right, this is actually going to be a hot one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. All right. We are talking about the movies coming out in 2023. The future of cinema relies on this year. Can the cinema survive? Well, I got to tell you, COVID may have sucked. The pandemic was rough. It hurt theaters, hurt the quality of movies, definitely hurt the quality of TV. But there's a lot of stuff coming out this year. I would even argue the most I've seen in a long time. So starting off, ready? Friday, the 13th actually. We got House Party, Plane, Devil Conspiracy, Doggone. The only thing I care about that is maybe the Doggone movie because Rob Lowe is just awesome. Next Friday, Fear, Missing. Nothing I care about, although still a lot of movies coming out. The following Friday, Shotgun Wedding, Distant, You People. You People with Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill. That's going to be hilarious. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious.
You don't think so, do you?
No, I do. I love Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be funny.
Yeah. It's going to be great. So far, every week so far, I got something to watch. The following, in February 2023, what do we got? We have Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Right? That's all. Oh, Cocaine Bear? Okay. I'm watching that for sure. Come on, bro.
There's some good stuff coming out.
In March, we got John Wick, Scream 6, Creed 3. Shazam.
Yeah, March is going to be huge. March is going to be huge.
Whoa. Whoa.
This week, what?
I'm sorry. I'm just blown away right now. March, Scream 6, Creed 3, Shazam, John Wick, The Lost King, Dungeons and Dragons. March is going to be.
Well, and it rolls right into Mario at the beginning of April.
It really, literally, the very, very beginning of April. That's crazy. Yeah, this whole year is going to be kick butt. March is going to be insane.
I mean, it's a little slow right now. A Man Called Otto is coming out, which is kind of the big wide theatrical release coming out later today, tomorrow, with Tom Hanks. I mean, it looks definitely watchable. If you liked the one where he was like stuck in the airport, I didn't like that movie. It was slow. I like that movie. So if you'd like Tom Hanks acting a little off, this is going to be good. He's playing an angry old man, get off my lawn kind of guy. And so that's coming out. But I mean, it's going to actually be pretty quiet for the next couple of weeks. I think that Netflix release you were talking about, You People with Eddie Murphy. Look, getting a chance to see Eddie Murphy again in something that's not kid related. I mean, this is a rated R movie.
Yeah, comedy.
It's fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that. But
oh my god!
And then we're into Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
wait, what about June? Across the Spider-Verse, Transformers, The Flash, Indiana Jones. What? There's like 4 blockbusters right there.
Well, did you check Guardians of the Galaxy in May? Did you get that one? Fast 10 is in May.
Fast 10. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold up. Let me find May.
Little Mermaid, if you're waiting to see how that one turns out.
No one cares about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, in May we got Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is probably the last James Gunn one ever gonna see. Fast X, The Little Mermaid, whatever. All right, so these are at least 2 good ones there. And then in July, Mission Impossible, The Marvels, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer looks great.
I'm definitely watching Oppenheimer. I was stuck on this movie called The Machine that's got Mark Hamill in it this year.
Really?
Mark Hamill is actually going to be in a movie, not as a voice actor.
Oh, I'll watch that.
That's cool.
I'm sorry. They're making Meg 2. That's a real movie?
Of course they are. Of course they're making Meg 2.
But did Meg 1 make money?
Yeah. No, it made a ton of money.
Did it really?
Yeah. Jason Statham, shark killing people. Come on. Rainn Wilson absolutely made money.
I mean,
I watched it.
Equalizer 3? Wasn't the second movie with like Latifah, Queen Latifah or something like that?
I didn't watch the first 2. Let's just
the first one was good, but Expendables 4.
I don't know. I don't do Expendables anymore. I watched the first one and I'm like, wasn't worth 2 and 3, it's for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't. And we're probably going to button up the year here. What do we got for November? We got...
Did you call Barbie?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to watch Barbie.
I mean, we're not going to watch it, but are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Ryan Gosling's in it. He must play Ken.
There's a stupid amount of attractive people in one movie. I'm going to at least give it a look-see.
I just have a hard time. I have a really hard time watching something like that.
I'm definitely going to at least give it a look-see.
Unless it better be like a grown-up version of Barbie. Because if it's like a kid's movie, I'm just not.
No, it's a grown-up version of Barbie.
Oh, well, then that's fine. If it's like, Barbie for grown-ups, then with a bunch of jokes.
That's what it is, yeah. In November, we got, I didn't even know this was happening. The Hunger Games is back.
What? Did they suddenly write more books?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. I don't know why that.
Really?
Dune Part 2? Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
I mean, it's happening. It's on the slate.
Is it really?
Course. Why wouldn't it? Listen, it cannot be in this year's release movies if it's not ready to be released.
That's not true.
Like
we had Star Trek 4 in last year's release movies.
No. Not in the same year.
All right.
It was in the following year. Yes.
All right. We'll see.
This is a movie that this movie's already been shot. It's in the can.
I hated Dune so much.
Yeah.
I hate it more because of everyone else didn't hate it. I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't know why they liked it either. I couldn't get it either.
Ooh, we're going to end on a high note, for me at least, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom on Christmas. Oh, and the untitled Ghostbusters sequel. How are they going to say this is the release date and there's not even a title yet?
Which one?
Untitled Ghostbusters sequel is set for December 20th. That's the Firehouse movie? Firehouse?
I don't know. That might get moved.
Yeah.
I predict that one will get moved. This might be a leftover thing.
They're
remaking The Color Purple, huh? Interesting.
Here's some to be determined, which means that they're slated for this year, but they don't have a slot yet, right?
Yeah.
A Quiet Place Part 3. I'm only going to read the ones.
I don't think that's necessary.
I'm only going to read the ones that matter to me, okay? Quiet Place Part 3, Beverly Hill Cop Axel Foley. Hell
That's
yes.
going to be good.
Hell yes. With Judge Reinhold and Eddie Murphy. Hell yes.
That'll be great.
Black Canary, starring Junie Smollett. That's no.
I don't care.
Yeah, don't care. Legally
Carry On.
Blonde
Look,
3.
Carry On's going to be good, dude. Don't sleep on Carry On.
Okay, it won't. Oh yeah,
Taron Egerton.
Jason Bateman. Carry On. Yeah, okay. I loved Terry. I loved Egerton. That's okay. He's the Kingsman guy, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I love him.
And don't sleep on Extraction 2 because the first one was good.
Oh my gosh, they're doing the Ghosted movie with Chris Evans and Anna de Morris. They have tried like 3 times to make this work. They've tried 2 different TV shows. They're like trying to copy like a foreign franchise, and it doesn't work. We'll see.
I'll watch anything Anna de Armas is in. I don't give a if she's going to sit there and just read the phone book, I'm watching it.
Really? Why?
And you're not?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I had to Google it really quick.
That was a great. That was the best like ever like confirmation.
Yeah, she was in Blondie. Yeah.
She was also in Knives Out. Yeah.
And Knives Out. Let me tell you something. I normally don't watch movies like Blonde or whatever it's called. I don't care about biopics, especially not black and white ones. But holy crap. Like, holy crap. Some people were just made perfect.
Some people were made to be on the movies, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I'll watch that. Oh, Chris Evans too. Oh, man. All right. What else? Star Wars Rogue Squadron. That's not happening.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
And,
yeah, that one's the one that got moved, so I wouldn't count on that.
Yeah.
That
and
one got
Spaceman with Adam Sandler and Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, a lot of these things are just kind of sitting in no man's land, but it would be interesting to look at this Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix on Apple TV. You're going to have to help me figure out how to get on Apple TV. That's driving me crazy.
You know what's funny is Apple TV is worth it. It's not very expensive. And like if Apple TV said we're raising our prices $1, I'd be like, F you, I'm canceling. Because even though they have good content, there's not enough of it. It's very limited. It's worth $5 a month. It's not worth $7.
I'm going to have to go get like an entirely new email account, an entirely new like debit card or credit card or something, because no matter what I've tried to activate my Apple Plus account, it keeps telling me, sorry, this profile belongs to somebody else. Sorry, this account charge belongs. I just can't get it. And so it's like, I don't know what to do. Apple, for the love of God, I'm trying to give you money. Help me out.
At this point, Shane is going to go buy an iPhone just to activate an Apple account.
I'm not ever going to own an iPhone. I don't care.
All right. Yeah, so that's it. That's all the movies for next year, both slated and yet to be determined. It's going to be a good year. Like, straight up, it's going to be a really good year for movies. If you like movies, if you're like us and you like movies, this is going to be one hell of a year for both streaming and theatrical. There's a lot going on. It's going to be really, really fun.
Especially since Avatar 3 is not in this next slate. That's great.
Thank God. Can someone in the chat tell me what is so special about Avatar 2? And before you answer, you can't mention the graphics or the 3D.
Or because Avatar 1 was groundbreaking.
Only mention the story. What about the story was so good? Because I'm not getting it, bro. I'm not. It just seems like a boring, who cares nonsense story. It just feels so stupid to me. All of it feels stupid to me.
Did you watch 1 and 2 back to back?
Are you kidding me? No.
I mean, listen, I think you have to do that. You know, let's do this week. I don't know if we have time. We should watch 1 and 2, just suffer through it, and then try to put ourselves in the mind of people who think it's good. Maybe we're missing something.
We are missing something because I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
Danny Dork Knight says it is a great family themed story with a strong father as a lead character. I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah, and you know what, Dan? I do respect your opinions. That's great. But you are also a very emotional dude. I'm just not on that level. Like I can't get into it the same way as you. Like I see these stupid little blue people running around, and they annoy me. Everything about the way they move annoys me. The way they talk annoy me. It all just annoys me. And no spoilers here, but I also see a major plot point from like minute I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shane. Sorry.
No. So I mean, so maybe that's the problem is you're so distracted by the fact that you hate Avatar 1 that maybe you didn't properly give Avatar 2 a shot.
Well, there's plot problems too.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not sure.
So I'm not going to say anything, but when you watch it, Shane, you're going to be like, yeah, but what? Why didn't they? And you're going to say this to yourself. Why didn't they? And the second you say that to yourself, the movie's ruined. Because the movie all depends on this one thing that could have easily been avoided.
All right. Well, I'll try to catch it maybe this weekend sometime.
Yeah. Nunya has a good point. Avatar 2 had a good villain. They did. It's true.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it just to make sure. But I haven't watched Avatar 2.
Avatar 1, not 2. My bad. Avatar 1.
Well, my problem is I didn't watch Avatar 2 because I didn't like Avatar 1. And so I just haven't. And none of my family wants to watch it either, which is like interesting.
You see, Mike? That's what I'm talking about, bro. You have to think of Avatar as an immersive experience. Okay? Watch it on your computer screen. Tell me how you like it then. Because I saw it.
So maybe you got to see it at the theater.
I have to see it at the theater, apparently.
I mean, I didn't see the first Avatar at the theater either. I saw
a screener
on DVD,
and it wasn't great.
I saw it on DVD. So,
all right.
Moving on before everybody beats us up over Avatar.
Everyone loves Avatar. I'm just like confused.
It must be us. We have obviously failed somewhere.
We have failed. All right. Oh, Fake News Friday. Woo! Fake News Friday. Mike's saying I can't watch it on a computer. I mean, I did. But yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe I need to go to an IMAX 4DX, spend like $60 on one ticket, get those wraparound glasses, and then I can enjoy the movie.
Right? I got some breaking news for you guys. Looks like Lisa Marie Presley was hospitalized after a cardiac arrest.
I thought you were about to say the Picard season 3 trailer just came out. I was going to start laughing.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have been crying, not smiling.
Lisa Marie Presley is Elvis Presley's daughter?
Daughter, yeah.
And ex-wife to
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah. So she is in hospitalized after a cardiac arrest. So
I'm sorry to hear
she
that.
didn't die, but she's obviously not doing well.
Is it me or does she look like Scully from X-Files?
Dude, now she does. She used to not. She was actually super attractive when she was younger.
All I'm seeing is Scully, man, right? I'm seeing Scully from X-Files right now. To be fair, Scully was fine.
No.
Yeah, I'm seeing like Scully's older sister.
No, Scully was not fine.
Scully.
She was FBI fine. Like
hold up. She was
FBI. Like if you think of all the people working at the FBI, she was like good looking at the top 10% at the FBI.
No, she was hot. I'm not nuts, am I? No, she was super hot. Yeah, you're crazy, bro. Yeah. All right. So
go ahead. Bring it up.
Yeah, I'm getting distracted right now.
No, pull her up and then pull David Duchovny next to her.
David Duchovny, bro. Why did you say
I always call him Duchovny. I've been saying it for years. I love it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. All right.
What is that? That's not even from X-Files.
Yeah, it's from the newest X-Files.
Listen, she had that like business chick thing going on.
She does it for me. If she was green, I'm good. No.
I
David Duchovny is a straight up daddy.
I respected her. I wasn't in love with her.
Okay, that's fair. I was in love with her. All right, so we're doing fake news Friday. You got me really distracted right now. I don't know. Oh, we were talking about Lisa Marie.
Okay, well, stop looking at it.
Hey, well, good luck, Lisa Marie. I hope. I mean, I don't know these people. I don't know celebrities. I don't know if she's a good person or bad person, but I do know this. Just as a human being, when you hear that someone's been hospitalized or they've suffered injury, like I don't necessarily like Jeremy Renner very much. We probably don't. We wouldn't get along in real life, but I don't like to see humans like suffer. And,
yeah, of course not. What are you, fucking masochist?
Right,
of course
but
not.
like there are people. Yeah, well, I mean, go on Twitter for a second though, and just
no, dude. You know what? Those people don't either, but their inner monologue allows them to say whatever the hell they want
really
without any
horrible
prejudice.
people. I don't even get it. Like it's a person.
It's
who
disgusting.
Who probably lost limbs. I don't get. You didn't like his movie, okay? And what the hell is wrong with you? All right, we're doing Fake News Friday. Ready?
I am ready.
Fake News Friday.
Nice. I love it.
Yes, we are talking about Quantum Leap. And we're going to start off this headline. And I normally sort of redo the headlines from these articles, but I'm going to read it verbatim just to be very clear on why this is fake news. This is verbatim, and I quote, Quantum Leap reboot ratings plummet. First off, it's not a reboot!
Please stop saying it. Listen, just please stop saying it's a reboot.
Oh my God.
Oh.
From our favorite of the fake news rogues, this is giant freaking robot. Give it up for the worst of the worst.
Woo, worst
or the
of the
best
worst.
of the worst.
No, I don't even know if they're the best of the worst. They are the worst of the worst.
Quantum Leap reboot returned from a 56-day hiatus to ratings nearly half of its premiere just last summer. Okay, first off, premiere versus mid-season break return? Did you expect it to be better ratings?
I think it's so funny. Like, you're right. Like, this is not factually incorrect story. It's misleading in its purpose. It's misleading in its purpose. This is to get people to go, oh, what happened to Quantum Leap? Nothing happened to Quantum Leap. There was no marketing. We literally didn't see it when it came out because we're like, oh shit, it's back. There was no advertisements about Quantum Leap returning.
Yeah, there's no trailers or anything.
There was no trailers. There was no, it's back next such and such. Then again, I don't watch TV anymore, so I'm not sure exactly how that works. But, of course, the ratings are going to fall in half. Let me tell you something. Was the episode's return better than the initial premiere episode? Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
So, and we're going to talk about this week's episode in the member section first. And I got to tell you guys, incredible episode.
Incredible.
I absolutely loved it. Emotional. We got answers. It was good.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
So technically this is not fake news, but it's the tone of the information. Well, actually, first off, headline is 100% wrong. It's not a reboot, period, the end.
The ratings plummet.
Yeah. Ratings plummet is misleading because ratings are never as good as a premiere of something, especially in the mid-season. It starts off strong. This is how most TV shows work. Ready? And this is someone I look at ratings like news. I look at ratings for entertainment value. It starts off strong. It peters a little bit. All the little looky-loos fall away. And as the season ramps up and there's more and more information, there's more marketing, more word of mouth, more water cooler, more stakes, people start to get caught up. And then usually the ending is about where the beginning is. And that's pretty much, it's like a U. The ratings are like
Yeah.
almost like a U shape, and that's pretty much how most TV works.
And let me tell you how messed up this is. How many people are on cable and how many people are on streaming? Because Quantum Leap can be watched on cable and it can also be watched on streaming.
Right.
The numbers, people are flying to streaming. Okay. People are flying to streaming. The numbers do not account the streaming numbers here either, which I'm guessing increased following Christmas. And so they're just talking about the live show numbers.
Right. So if most TV shows follow that sort of a U shape, right? The bowl shape rating, starting strong, it peters off, and then it ends sort of strong if it's doing its job. Then what's in the very middle of that U shape, you guys? The very bottom of the floor is the mid-season.
Right. Well, and check this out. So this is the way their story goes. The series premiere had 3.4 million viewers. Okay. The episode before we left for hiatus had 2.2 million viewers. Guess what the very next episode when we came back from hiatus had? 2.3 million views. It actually had more than watch the previous one before they went on break.
Right.
So has there been a drop from the very first episode? Yes, like every television. There was an increase since the hiatus.
Right.
Not a plummet.
Right. So
but you know what? Increases don't get clicks, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I said so. Let's write this correctly then. What if we wrote this with the correct tone and the correct information? Quantum Leap continuation ratings are steady.
Or increase.
Or slightly increase from that's not interesting.
No, Quantum Leap continuation. I wouldn't even say continuation. Screw reboot or continuation. We're done with it.
Yeah, Quantum
Leap ratings strong.
How
about that?
Yeah.
Quantum Leap ratings improve.
If
you wanted to take
that's right word. Improve.
Slightly it went up by 1 million. So yeah, I don't know.
That's so weird, man. I mean, look, I didn't understand the hiatus. I sort of did because of holidays, but I don't know. I don't like shows that have like these big long breaks in the middle. And Quantum Leap might actually have 2 breaks in the middle of one season, which is like, it's like watching a YouTube video that has those like 10-minute unskippable ads.
Mm-hmm.
And you're already invested, like you're like 8 minutes in, and there's like 8 minutes to go, and all of a sudden they want you to wait longer than the actual video itself.
Yes, yeah, right.
And you're like, now you're trying to sign on from other devices and trying to skip the ad, and it's like so frustrating. Yeah, this is what this is like, man.
Hey, listen, while you're on this screen here, go back down again. Oh, the other way. Go back to the top. Okay. Just go to the top. I just want to recognize Mike Motorelli's comment here. Love Quantum Leap, but I think the real news here is Emma Watson in a transparent gown, which is your upper right trending.
Yeah, that is the real news. I already clicked on that when you guys were looking.
Thank you, Mike. Brian's already all over that for us. Thank you.
That's so funny. Yeah,
this is the thing with Quantum Leap is like you see this scene here with Sam and
Al
and Al. You don't have that feeling yet.
You don't.
And I don't know if you're ever going to have it with Addison and Ben.
Yeah.
The relationship is just different. It's when you're in love with somebody, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
I bet it's more attractive to female viewers. I wonder if women, because this is like a guy thing, like this whole thing we're buddy pals and, the loyalty for each other. But can you imagine if your wife, just for 1 second, Brian, I would like you to be leaping and your wife to be showing up while you're in the middle of trying to save somebody's life, right?
Why are you here?
She'd be judging everything that you did.
This is my thing, babe. This is my I love you, but this is my thing. No, listen. We've talked about this before. This is my man time. I'm trying to decompress and leap and save people. It's not that I don't trust you. No. I mean, it's almost like maybe you don't trust me. You don't. Okay, you don't. Okay, fine. All right, no, stay. No, stay. We'll just do this together. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine she's like got the little handheld device going, you're gonna have to why are you wearing that? You know.
I get it, babe. I know how to use a wrench. No, dude, you're totally right. I love my wife to death. Going on 20 years married pretty soon here, by the way. Thank you very much. But
nice.
I do not, I wouldn't want to work with my wife.
I mean, have you seen The Amazing Race? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
And dude, also that one Survivor episode season that they never did again when it was like blood versus water. It was such a wreck. They're like, we're never doing this ever again.
Dude.
Probst said it at the end of the season. We're like, we're probably never going to do this again.
When you have couples work together to try to accomplish anything under a pressure situation, it never works.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of unreality happening with Quantum Leap and like that. I'm sorry, that wouldn't go down like that probably.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, you know, it's an ideal version of a relationship. So maybe women like that.
Yeah. It's also like, I've noticed from like Survivor, either it's a total mess and they can't work together, or it's like it's uncomfortable how they are together. Like it's so uncomfortable. Everyone around them is just like, these people, you know. There's nobody normal just like doing normal things. You know.
I think we just unleashed I think we just uncorked what's been bugging us about Quantum Leaps. You know, even though it's a great show, it's kind of what's been bugging me about the show. Something's not right, and it's probably the Ben and Addison relationship.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, before I see the comments that says it's been canceled or it won't see a season 2, it already got a season 2. It's already been greenlit for a season 2, and there's another 10 episodes this season. So
yeah, it's happening, dude. This is going, and you know what? There's a lot of stuff on TV right now, and this is just as good as most of it.
There's a minimum of 23 episodes still. Let's say season 2 gets canceled. We're still going to get like 23 episodes of this stuff. So.
There's only 2 better shows I can think of that's like on TV right now. And that would be Andor and House of the Dragon.
I thought Andor was done.
No, it's season 1, man. There's going to be 5 seasons of Andor.
Oh, you mean like, okay.
Like what I'm saying is shows that are still good. House of the Dragon is done too.
I prefer Quantum Leap to Andor.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I think I prefer House of the Dragon to both those.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below, and please hit the subscribe button on the way there. Thank you very much. Moving on. What's next, man?
Well, I don't know, but we're gonna have a great Quantum Leap review later. If you guys are caught up on Quantum Leap, you're gonna want to see that review. This was a good week.
Oh, we're gonna end this. We're gonna end the public portion of this before moving to members with the Stargate news. MGM.
Oh, did we skip that?
We accidentally did. Yeah, we can't skip that.
So what else do we skip? We got everything else?
Yeah, we got everything else.
Okay, and then we're going to do, so in the member section, we're going to do Stargate news now, and then in the member section, we're going to talk about Rings of Power and explain, the showrunners tell us why they changed lore for Rings of Power, why they changed J.R.R. Tolkien's story. Mm-hmm. We're also going to talk about Quantum Leap. We're going to do the review, but we're also going to talk about Quantum Leap reveals the project is destined to go bad, which is our prediction, right?
If the Rings of Power thing is in like Star Trek, a couple of them got drunk and made the decision.
Probably.
Yeah. And then obviously our Quantum Leap review, which I'm sorry, Dork, you have to check out the member section after the fact, bro. Okay, let's talk about Stargate MGM Plus.
This is really interesting, actually.
Stargate is not on the just announced MGM Plus development slate. Why? What does that mean? Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah, well, yeah. I can give you some information, I think.
Talk to me, Goose.
So I got to tell you, shout out to Trek, who's been doing some really great work on Stargate. He has some really cool, good sources on Stargate information going on. So make sure you guys check out his channel. But he's been reporting recently, and we verified that some meetings over Christmas time and into the new year with Expanse creators didn't go as well as it was expected to be going. And part of the reason why I think we're seeing not having Stargate in the project development for MGM Plus is MGM Plus is coming out, but according to sources from Trek, they did not get a deal done with Amazon. And so this would make sense. If they didn't get a deal done with Amazon, then obviously they wouldn't be able to announce a development deal. One of the problems, one of the issues as being told was that Amazon didn't want to pay very much per episode. There was some talk that they only wanted to pay like $1 million an episode for new Stargate, whereas the Expanse creators wanted like 10 million an episode. Apparently Amazon came to like the middle and said, we'll give you 50 million for the whole season for 10 episodes. Ugh. And Mark Fergus was like, that's just not good enough. So, if that's the case, what we heard was they walked away from the meeting saying, well, let's talk in the new year. Well, if that's the case, we've got, MGM Plus coming out in a few days, January 15th. So in 3 days it's coming out. And so they could not announce it as part of the development slate because there is nothing in place.
Right.
And that's why that if all this went down as we've been told, then that's why there would be no Stargate project in development. And it's not that Stargate will necessarily go to MGM Plus. I mean, like that's where it makes the most sense. It was an MGM property. MGM Plus needs content, so it makes sense it could go there. But there's still nothing saying that when it does get developed, it can't actually be an Amazon Prime product or even be, created and placed on one of the other streaming networks, which Amazon also does. So there's lots of ways this can happen. What we do know is that they definitely want to do new Stargate. The Expanse creators want to do it. They just got to figure out the numbers on this thing. I don't think Mark Fergus wants to do it for less than he did the Expanse for.
Right.
And I don't blame him. I mean, the vision for what they got. I mean, it's expensive to create this stuff.
Yeah.
And
think about this. If we're being fair, if they tried to create it with that ridiculously low budget, it would have been bad. It would have been Stargate Origins.
Probably.
No offense to people that like Origins. The story wasn't bad, but the acting caliber was rough. It was very rushed in weird places and drawn out in others, and graphics weren't very good because it was a low budget web series.
It was low budget.
Like if that was like a fan series on YouTube, I'd be like, "Yo, this is amazing." But
I mean, there are times that Brad Wright had to really cut budget. I mean, in the later years of Stargate, they didn't have a lot of money. There are episodes, bottle episodes in Stargate that were done under budget so that they could save money for the ones where they needed to be in space and they had to have the aliens and things like that. So, I mean, they went back and forth, and you know what? We loved it.
And honestly, some of the best bottle episodes of all of television for me happened on Stargate.
Yeah. So it's possible it could be done, but the way things are today, it's like, if it's not like this, I mean, let's be honest. We're just not impressed anymore. We've been impressed. What possible magnum opus of visualness can we possibly be impressed by going forward? After seeing, I mean, listen, everybody took a big crap on the Hollow Moon movie that Roland Emmerich made.
Oh yeah,
Moonfall, but it was epic, dude.
I mean, the graphics were epic.
And you know what?
Ridiculous.
True, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think you need to spend $1 billion to make a show, because as long as it's good enough, we can't be wowed anymore. I mean, The Expanse was good.
No, you're right. But $50 million for an entire season of sci-fi is pushing it, right?
They can get it done. I think they can get it done.
If you
have a couple episodes where you're interior mostly.
You understand? No, I mean, dude, I don't think you understand what you're asking, though. You're asking for the budget to be like a third of what other science fiction shows budgets are.
Well, half probably. Not a third, but I would say half. I mean, listen, do it well, and then get more money for next season.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like that's kind of my thought on it. Is it if it's a matter of no, you're not going to get to do it, or take 50 million and do it, then I say take 50 million and do it.
yeah, but bro, just the actors alone are going to eat up like 20 million of that budget, right? Yeah,
no, because they're going to use a bunch of no names.
No, it wouldn't work. You need to bring some of the old cast back to make it work.
They're going to be back in pieces. I can tell you, because that's what Brad's script was. Brad's script had the old actors in place. So if you bring them back, they're not going to be back like we want it to be. I'm telling you, this is going to be a totally new thing when they do it.
Yorkshire Geek has a good point. The old props are gone. They have to build new props. Yeah. For Stargate Origins, but also for this one. Like, even the stuff they built for Stargate Origins is no longer there. Like,
well, and let's be honest, most of it's going to be green screened or greenhoused, or how now they have the entire set is like projected or some crap like that when they're acting.
That's called the FX wall. But the thing about that, bro, is you still have to build some practical sets. You have to feel that. Yeah, you can't have.
What I'm saying is the stuff they built 20 years ago is no longer going to work.
Right. Well, it's gone. But you still
even if it was here, you wouldn't be able to use it. I think is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Even if they hadn't sold it.
If they still had the SGC, why couldn't you use that?
I mean, it's just dated. It's old. I mean, they'd have to at least update it. They'd have to do.
Looks like NORAD to me.
NORAD 20 years ago. Trust me, the look is not going to work. I mean, it's like, can you go back and do 90s Star Trek today? No, you can't.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't.
Sure. I mean, you can update a set though. It's a lot less expensive to update a set you already had this soundstage for than to build a brand new one.
I mean, I would argue it's nominal.
Okay, so the thing is, building all the sets for sci-fi, paying the actors. It's an ensemble cast. There's a lot of actors. This is not like Yellowstone where there's like 6 actors total you have to really deal with.
Yellowstone's made for like $150 and plus the actors' fees.
Yeah. Yellowstone, like I actually read somewhere it was like something like 80-something% of the actual cost of the show is in like the budget for the actors themselves.
Studios love those shows. I mean, that's the
It's sort of
why do you think reality?
You get to shoot on a ranch somewhere. No big deal.
Yeah. Why do you think reality TV owned TV for 2 decades almost? Because it's cheap to make and a lot of people watched it.
Yeah. Every time I tell someone reality TV show is the cheapest way to make TV, they go, Survivor is giving away $1 million. I'm like, yeah, a drop in the bucket.
Right. Yeah.
$1 million is
$1.5 million.
Yeah. $1 million is like, for real. $1 million is maybe a couple days of shooting for a real TV show. For that, so for this cost, like maybe let's say the whole thing costs like $2 million plus whatever Jeff Probst is making. Jeff Probst is probably bringing home like $20 million a season.
Dude, Rings of Power was $1 million a minute.
Right.
Let's just put it.
Right. You can get 40 episodes of TV for like $2 million on a Survivor.
Right.
You're literally feeding these people rice and bugs.
And it's for the game. It's great.
Right. You don't have to feed them.
Right. I just think you can do it. If you have good actors and you have a good story, you can do it.
I mean,
how much could Stargate Universe have cost? Let's, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
They were stuck on a rock, right?
I would love to have Joe Malazzi on for a talk about budgets like this because,
yeah,
he would know so much more. I do know this. It seemed to me, for nowadays, for current budgets, that seemed cheap for a science fiction show. And maybe you could have made it work, but you're probably going to get 8 episodes top with that out of that. You're not going to get a full season. You know,
you got to remember MGM Plus is going to be like the Robin in the Batman Robin relationship. You know, it's really just there to kind of get a little extra attention, maybe to throw an extra punch in somewhere. You add a little bit to the Amazon revenue, but it's not expected to do anything big. So they don't want to give it, House of the Dragon budget,
I mean, but why does it have to be on MGM Plus though? Why not just have it on Amazon?
Because Epics exists and they don't know what to do with it. So let's make a little bit of money off of it.
Like, so
It's
why don't you just
all
absorb
weird.
Epics into Amazon and call it a day? Like, what are you doing?
Opportunity for another revenue stream, bro. They ain't gonna do that. And they got all this You gotta understand, MGM's content library is enormous.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, honestly, they're immediately going to be able to compete with other streaming networks with how much content is going to be on MGM Plus.
Right.
It's literally a legitimate other streaming service. Imagine if MGM had not been sold to Amazon, right? And they just said, we're just going to put ourselves on a streaming service and charge everybody $15 a week or a month. They probably would have pulled themselves out of bankruptcy, bro. Had they thought to do that.
I mean, but didn't you tell me that MGM did buy Epics?
Well, MGM owned Epics.
So why
They
didn't
did. They bought it, but they didn't. They never incorporated it. It wasn't branded MGM.
Why,
right? That's important.
They're so dumb.
Yeah, they are dumb.
They're so incredibly stupid. Why wouldn't they just throw their entire library on Epics?
Well, because when they bought Epics, that was not the model yet. It's only been the last few years. COVID is the reason we've got all these damn pluses. So, they tried to do it. I mean, they were early adopters of streaming. I mean, after Netflix did it, at least MGM chased a streaming service.
Oh, yeah, the Stargate command.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Embarrassing. That is the lowest. That is the lowest definition for what you can call a streaming service.
They tried. I mean, you got to give them credit. They tried.
No, they let someone else try.
Well, they tried, and then Mark Burnett or whoever the heck that came, or no, was it Burnett?
Yeah, it was Burnett, the guy who ran Survivor.
Yeah, Burnett came in, and he wasn't a Stargate fan, so the shit hit the fan. So,
jeez,
everything Stargate was kicked to the curb. Thank you, Jenny Stiven, for that information. Appreciate it.
That is ridiculous.
$5 super chat from Hiroshi the dog. Has anyone ever thought of putting a good sci-fi show on YouTube Prime? Oh, that's a great question, Hiroshi. When YouTube starts actually getting into the content creation business, they absolutely should do that.
I mean, they did get into the content creation business.
Not really.
They came out with Cobra Kai.
They dipped their fingers in it. They didn't come out with Cobra Kai. Yeah. No.
Yes, they did.
They bought Cobra Kai.
Whatever it is, they bought the content before anyone else had it, and they aired it weekly like a TV show before anyone else did.
And it was great. I watched it there.
Okay. YouTube Red or Prime or whatever you want to call it now. I'm not even sure. What is it called?
It's YouTube
Premium, I guess.
Premium. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Pick a lane, guys. Like, for the love of God.
Well, listen, they're Google. They own everything. So it's like,
the thing is, though, is that they were doing it. They were legitimately doing it before most other people were doing it, and they just sort of stopped.
Because it didn't go very far.
But the weirdest thing is they had a budget that they were giving people that were already on YouTube to make super produced advanced versions, and it was great.
No, it wasn't.
What are you talking about?
No, it wasn't.
I loved all the Matt Pat science stuff. Those were awesome.
But it wasn't like universally loved. Like, it wasn't enough to like carry the show. You know what I mean? And they did a lot of them. They put a lot of money into YouTubers who are not producers of giant shows.
They only promoted it on YouTube, though. It's like,
yeah. Well, that's where, I mean, at that time, you got to remember at the height of COVID, like YouTube was like the place to be. So, and of course, we weren't making.
This was before COVID when they did that. I think, right?
What's that?
It was before COVID when they were doing that. Right?
Yeah, it was. It was before that, but it's I think they dipped their pinky in it and they said, okay, well, you know what? We're just going to be the owners of TV because that's kind of what they've become. Well, this is where you get your live TV. YouTube.
Yeah, they made a mistake too. Okay, Hiroshi. They also started like making originals in freaking vertical form, like Live Out Loud vertical series about some LGBT thing, and it's all in vertical 1 minute clips. No, why would anyone pay for that? Like literally ever.
That sounds like the way TikTok is going to go.
Yeah, and they made a lot of like original stuff that I think you're right, Shane. Like people just didn't care about because it's super niche audiences. Like, yeah, the creators might have a few million subs, but that's nothing compared to, the 100 million you really need them to have for this to be like a phenomenon, right?
Yeah, and that's it. So they just didn't. They risked it. They thought, hey, we got all these YouTubers. They have millions of subscribers, and the people didn't show up for their TV show. It's just
and listen to this. Listen to these real quick. Listen to these stupid categories: LGBT celebration, live out loud, behind the beats, music originals, FUCK it originals. Celebrate black voices and perspectives. Latin America originals. Like, it's just like, if virtue signaling had a page, this would be it. It's like every category is just some kind of checkbox, dude. Asian Pacific. Like, I don't know. Why are you? Is it not racist to categorize all your shows by race?
It is now, but a few years ago it wasn't. Yeah. Huge shout out, anyways, back to this. We were at Stargate. So huge shout out to Darren at Gate World for breaking this information. Huge shout out to Trek for giving us the additional information. And of course, Jenny Stiven, longtime industry insider and one-time MGM employee, who has given us some great information. We're going to keep you guys updated on everything Stargate that comes. It's going to be over the next year or two, things are going to shake out. And whether it's a movie, whether it's a TV show, whether it's both, we'll be here to break it down for you the whole way. So thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you. And hit the subscribe button on the way to the comment section to yell at me.
Brian, knock it off.
I know someone wants to yell at me for sure. I'm not sure who, but I could feel it in my bones. All right. Oh, and it looks like we're going to the members section, which is my favorite place to be.
In the member section, we also spend a little more time talking directly to the people, so we get a little more chatty with you guys in the chat section. So that's a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about the Rings of Power showrunners have explained why they changed stuff. So let's go find out why they did that stupid thing. We're also going to be doing Quantum Leap episode review. So if you saw it, you're not going to want to miss this. And it looks like the Quantum Leap project is destined to go bad. We'll see.
Yeah. Project, not referring to the show, but like the actual project, right?
Yeah. Show's not bad. Okay. There you go.
So listen, if you want to join us in the members section, it's super easy. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Either you can hit the link in the chat, you can hit the link in the description. Okay. If you are like old school and you're like, I don't want to hit links, I want to type it in, you can like literally just like go to popcast.co/joins right there, or do nothing and let YouTube send you on over, because it's going to do that. That said, we love you, whether you come over or not. We will be back next week. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for hanging out with me when Shane was dealing with that